Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder, Season 5, Episode 26, Onwards. And we are going to go and get started with introductions, starting with Taldarius.
Hello, I am Taldarius, and I will be the storyteller for Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder tonight.
Don't forget to pass along, It just works better.
Yeah, fair. Go ahead, Alexi.
I am Lightpaw. I am playing Alexi the Tinkerer, who is currently somewhere in the depths of the ship doing some retrofitting.
Appearance. The dungeon awaits.
Next.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the resubscription.
Thank you for the resub, Timber, and your 45 months of support. Jeez, thank you. Go ahead, Gar.
I am Tochemay, and I'm playing Gar the Gnoll Barbarian, who's trying not to upset the Fluffle.
And I am Tanya Sapien, and
I am Iron Man.
You decided to skip me?
to be fair, I usually use the order of the icons for things, and the blurb menu was over top of the icons this time.
Well, this is why we should pass it to the next person! Anyways, I am Razim, and I am playing as the Marten twins, a pair of sentient feral psionic enchanters. This week, their names are Loth and Wolf. And now go ahead, Snow, because I was skipped before, so rudely. I'm glaring at Rose's icon.
Hello.
Tony Stark to you.
Hello, I'm Tiberian. I'll be playing Snow Shadow of the Vanishing Isles. Off to you, Timber.
Your species and class? I mean, I know we wind up with this game canceled a lot, people, but come on!
Is cat and is monk.
Timber?
Uh-oh.
Well, since Timber's having technical difficulties, I will point out, because
wait.
the games get... Oh, there he is.
Yep, I was muted. Hello, everybody. I'm Timbo. I'm playing Timbledore Jägermeister von Glorious Borkenborg Wolfenstein. I'm a big Wolfen Paladin, captain of the crew, and I'm having technical difficulties.
For whatever reason, I thought that it was twins and then Gar. I don't know why that's the direction it was in my mind, so I was waiting for Gar to finish, and that's when I was going to do my thing.
See, everybody, this is what happens when things aren't orderly.
You got that before I could.
I have it tabbed, so I just have to... I keep a tab of it open at all times, so I just have to go to the correct window and load up the tab.
At least I wasn't talking for much long, because I was patiently waiting.
Unlike certain other
this is
people
what
that
happens.
skip
I
the
thought that you already
healers.
went. Well, to be fair, a lot of people end up ignoring the healers.
Not me.
I've
You're an
I
important
run
part of the
medic.
team.
I've run medic in so many games where I've seen somebody with like 2 hit points remaining running away from me as the healer, and then they scream at me in voice comms when they die. Where were you? And it's like, I was behind you out of stamina because you were sprinting towards death.
Alright, we ready for the recap?
Go
I
for
believe
it.
so, yes.
Alright, so, previous episode, well, a lot of people just went on and bought stuff. The twins got some goods from Orchid. Snow went off and got some stuff. And I also got a can of paint.
Well, you should probably let him out.
Gee.
Now, you did make sure that it was an iron can, right? If it's made of any other metal, then we're going to have problems.
Cheat?
Well, I don't know what kind of paint cans Orchid sells.
Ruff!
Well, clearly it wasn't iron because he got out.
All right, well, I'm going to attempt to restart my computer, see if this fixes it.
Oh, you still not able to join?
Nope.
Dang.
Yay,
Well,
Scuff!
At least we have identified the Steveism for this week.
Yep. It's just Timber getting messed with instead of me, I guess.
See, if I brought one of my other characters, he has a thing against Steve. And Steve's in general.
I noticed that Timber's recap skipped over the whole reason why I am Iron Man.
Okay,
Rose
well,
is
since
making
he's
an Iron Man
restarting,
suit.
why don't you go and fill in the gaps then?
Rose is making an Iron Man suit. By which I mean she's making a reduced size bone horror that is specifically meant to be used like power armor from Fallout. And how is she styling it? Like the necromechs from Warframe. She doesn't know where these visions come from, they just come to her.
There could be no possible repercussions for doing this whatsoever.
Hey kids, that's what we call foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which
It's a special tone of voice that'll be helpful later.
Like a game master saying, "Are you sure about that?" Like in some of the other games.
To be fair,
Yes,
in most of the other games when someone does that, it's because someone is doing something that they aren't lucky enough to get away with.
I wonder who that could be.
I wonder.
We aren't going to talk about my luck in digital rolling. I am the second
Not
worst
you.
in this channel, and we know that.
Oh no, you don't have you don't have the worst luck in digital rolling.
Well, you did say second.
Okay.
Yeah. Ren is kind of hopeless.
And you kind of know the "Are you sure about that?" means change your option.
I'm
Ren
back.
didn't.
Ren does not know that at all, no.
Also, welcome back, Timber.
He would be that one guy at the casino that's just let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Oh, I'm broke.
Let's go gambling.
Let's go gambling.
dang
Put it all on red.
Oh, dang it. Oh,
In his
dang it.
last game, he actually did say, when Master said, "Are you sure about that?" "Yeah, I want to continue." "Yeah, skip what you're saying."
That's when the storyteller has to narrate. Despite all indications to the contrary, you decide that it's a good idea to stick your finger in the sparking light socket. Roll a new character.
This is why in one of the games there's a quality you can take. It's literally called common sense.
I don't think we have that in Scar.
You know,
No,
maybe
that's
we...
pretty funny. That'd be a pretty funny feat idea. The storyteller tells you when you're doing something absolutely dumb as hell.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that.
I was
Oh,
just thinking
100%.
the same. You good with that, Tal? I'll add that to the
Yeah,
next
I'm good
update.
with that. Yeah, just make
Liter-
sure it's like right next to like punishment or whatever in the.
It literally allows the player and the GM to do slight metagame. This is a bad idea.
This is an
This has-
occupational hazard.
This one sparks joy. This one doesn't spark joy.
This course of action will lead to PvP.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
they
Well, I'm
use-
okay with continuing while I try to
Again.
All right. If you end up
They
needing
use-
to roll for things, I'll pull up your sheet and roll for you.
Yeah.
They forget to use common sense until after they already did the dumb thing, and the DM just tells them, "With this character's death, the thread of prophecy has been severed. You can continue in this doomed world."
Just to keep up Timber's tradition of this real quick.
Don't forget to say for the Kaiserin.
Yeah, I was about to say for the Kaiserin.
For the Kaiserin!
Modified 20 on the religion, by the way. Or 22, actually. Because you always do that little religion check, so. Modified
Yep.
22. Alrighty. So, what I'm going to ask is, people were mostly preparing, gathering things. Is there anything else that people would want to try and get or gather or such things as that?
And Rose has pretty much wrapped up all of the stuff island side. At this point, it's just waiting for the clock to hit 0 and waiting for that prospecting mission to return.
Yep. All right. So that's good.
Anybody on the ship want to identify something for me? Couple things?
Well,
If you
you
can
would know where
find-
Rose is at. She's down in her lab making science.
Can Rose identify magical items?
Yeah, I think the twins can do it better, but she is capable.
And are you busy with your bones?
Well, I mean, she can stop for a few minutes to take a look at something.
The twins are available.
Okay,
Um, Identifying a magical item, would that be spellcraft or knowledge arcana?
Spellcraft.
Spellcraft.
Alright, mine's plus 15. What's the twins?
Plus 18.
Okay, then yeah, the twins are better at it.
Okay. So, have to find the twins if they're on the ship.
I mean, there's the network.
Is it connected? Last time we were disconnected.
No, that he connected us again.
Yeah.
Okay. Wolf, would you be able to identify if a few of my items are magical?
Oh, we can certainly try.
Okay. Head down to my bunk space and I'll show you them.
They are coming out of the wall behind you.
Okay.
They're in the damn walls.
Oh, Tanya. That's the swear jar.
Oh, that one's a mild one. That won't get
It's still a
demonetized.
swear.
That is still a swear.
I YouTube swear.
And we are at 14 minutes.
Just how Puritan has YouTube gotten that damn isn't an acceptable word?
There's another one.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's YouTube so much as corporate America.
Somebody needs to slap him. Well, you'll have to remind me on payday because right now I'm completely and totally flat broke. That would be 4 days from now.
And are the twins ready to start identifying a few things?
I would certainly say so.
Okay.
Now I need a curiosity sated. Hold on, where is it? There it is. If you had gone to Rose. Okay, so about the same.
Yeah. Silver Knoll statue with emerald eyes worth about 200 gold.
Well,
Golden
Tom?
crown made to fit the Knoll's head.
Well, we'll
worth
start one at a
200.
time.
Okay.
Unless Tal wants to use the same checks for all of them.
For expediency's sake, I'm fine just rolling through them. Normally, I'd be going through, but actually, here, let me ask: how many items are you wanting to identify?
1, 2. Just 2.
Okay, just 2. Then yeah, it'll be a roll for both. I thought you had like a laundry list of things you wanted to get identified.
No, I don't normally collect the loot. But yeah, it's the silver knoll statue with emerald eyes worth 200 gold, and the golden crown made to fit a knoll's head for 200 gold.
All right.
And if you need a reminder, these came from the Dead Knolls area.
Yeah, I was just more pulling up my notes on the area.
Okay.
I did not have those up. All right. So there's that one. All right. So the statue was getting identified first, right?
Yes.
The statue one, pretty simple. It is and the way that it works is just that if you sleep next to it, you get +1 HP per level regen nightly.
Okay.
And the crown roll now.
Mm-hmm. That would be use him.
Oh, okay, so you did want to... Sorry.
Yeah, because it was only 2 items. I thought he had a laundry list originally, but he only had 2 things, so.
31 and 30.
Alright, with that, you would know for sure that the crown is mundane. It is just really expensive.
Always remember to check your loot for curses before using it.
And that
I
works.
got in, guys.
Yay.
Nice.
Thank you for checking that stuff.
If you've been randomly cursed by demon spawn loot through no fault of your own, you may be entitled to compensation.
And by compensation, we mean you get shot with a compensator cannon. It's fancy. It's got a compensator.
We do not need to introduce Timber to the concept of muzzle brakes. He'd use that as an excuse to carry a larger caliber.
Don't worry, Timber already knows how to break someone's muzzle.
Ah.
All right, so that is some successful identification. Anyone else have business to attend to?
Yeah, are the twins done with the forge yet?
Oh yeah, they were working on stuff in there.
Yeah, they were making little cubey thingies.
Yeah, the puzzle
Yeah, they're making
boxes.
the puzzle cubes, yeah.
You know what? Sure. How many more of the puzzle cubes did they make for today?
I think they already made their stuff for today. It was just more that they were narratively using it for a
Okay.
while to make them.
So yeah, late in the evening, they're done.
I just went into my notes to look for the name that she had given for her new power armor, Bone Horror, and I found a note here that says Atreus Corpse Puppet. Is that Chiefy's name?
No. Because
Was Atreus used anywhere? I have no idea why that's on my notes.
Kill it! It might betray us!
Nice.
No, either way.
Storyteller, since, you know, I guess we're gonna start ready to get moving the ship. I guess Temple's gonna start, you know, getting the ship ready for movement.
Alrighty.
And still have to deal with the locals here. For me. On my negative levels.
Yep. I was just more seeing if anyone had any business to attend to before you could go to the next day and get that worked on.
Yeah, I was mostly saying that so that Timber didn't leave me behind.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but getting a ship ready takes a while anyway.
Yeah. Especially with less hands to do it with.
Yeah, 'cause he's got some work to be doing, so it makes sense.
What do you mean? You have plenty of hands, the kobolds.
Speaking of which, Rose
Less loyalist hands.
Rose might have extra work for them in a little bit.
Nice. Alright. So I'm just gonna assume that we no other business for tonight and we can pass the day.
Yeah.
Alright.
When will the twins be done with their puzzle cubes? Are they just going to be making them through the night? Late evening. All right. Then she's going to call dibs on the forge in the morning.
What? Do you need to sleep or something?
Well, you see, since I'm slowly dying, I need to periodically preview death. I have to get accustomed to it, you know?
Oh.
If there's anyone on this ship who has a really good preview of death, it's Rosalia.
Preview? I bought the pre-release version. I got early access.
I got early access pass.
Early access pass, yeah.
Pretty sure you've got the season
got
ticket.
all the season ticket, DLCs, Death Plus.
Well, obviously it's early access because we're slowly building Rosalia into dead.
She's probably already met Persephone.
Yeah, turns out that Care is actually just her persona. The necromech that she's making. She named it Care. After the Greek goddess Care, who is the mother of the Caress. Or Caries, or however that's pronounced.
The Chaos is no canonist, that's all I know.
So, Care is the Greek god of bloody and violent death, particularly that which is particularly that which occurs during battle.
Oh, that's hot.
All right. But you all will have a rather peaceful night on the ship, and you can awaken the next morning. You know, provided you actually sleep, but...
Oh, for once, Snow actually probably went to bed at a reasonable hour. It might actually be up early.
Rose would have used her. Rose would have used her low effort time during resting to create a set of molds for making those bronze discs or brass discs rapidly, so she can just pour mold them. Much faster that way, since it's such a simple shape and she needs to make like 50 of them.
Alrighty.
So yeah, as soon as she gets up in the morning, she's actually just going to be skipping breakfast and getting straight to the forge before somebody else gets ahead of her in line to start getting those smelted.
The twins who don't need to sleep, just staring at her.
You know, there's going to come a point in time at which I don't need sleep either. And when that time comes, I'm going to be far more evil than I am right now. Right now, sleep is the one thing that keeps me from killing all of you and turning you into my puppets.
Well, we're pretty sure we could take you.
Being fair and equitable here, I'd give myself about 30% odds.
So, you know, if you do go evil and try to kill the entire ship and, you know, everybody on it, we'll get you first.
Well, see, if I were to go entirely evil, I wouldn't try facing everybody at once, because that would be a losing fight. I'd pick people off one at a time, and I'd make sure to slowly corrupt the minds of a few people along the way, so that way they think that I'm actually their friend and want to keep them as minions, you know, living minions other than dead ones, so that way they're not fighting against me while I'm taking out the others.
But you do realize that we are constantly in the minds of everybody on the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll notice.
Well, see, that's why you need to make the person genuinely believe that they're actually doing the right thing.
Oh. We would still stop you.
I mean, you'd make an attempt, and like I said, that attempt would have 70% chance of succeeding.
We can unmake you.
I've already been unmade. I'm still here.
Not like this.
I was cubed!
Be
yes,
careful of the collar.
but you were still there.
No, I wasn't there. There was a cube of meat there. That was not Rose anymore.
But we would unmake you where not even a cube is left.
Okay, that just means it'd be a little bit more difficult to claw my way back out again.
And then we'd unmake you again.
So at what point in time did this turn into a dick-waving contest? Because if you're getting into a dick-waving contest against a woman, you must start with the world's worst handicap.
You were kind of the one that started it.
I'd argue it was 50-50. Anyways, I really need to get this work done here.
Well, yes, go ahead. You did call dibs. We're just here.
You have to stare at me the entire time.
You're entertaining.
So's Timber. Go stare at him.
Tipper kind of does the same things over and over again. Right now he's saying 30 for the Kaiserins. His morning
pushing him
ritual.
up.
Well then, go watch Snow and Alexi. I'd say go stare at Gar, but he'd probably think that it's a staring contest and stare back. And then that would just get boring after a while.
Alexi tends to blow things up. Mostly
entertaining.
himself.
That's twice as
In a not
entertaining.
fun way.
That's 3 times as entertaining.
As for Snow, he's just forever on the hunt for alcohol.
Just a moment. Check.
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay. Okay, it was just that the stream was really far behind. I usually keep the stream open so that when I speak, I can see that my icon lights up, so I know that my microphone hasn't died once again. The stream was just way behind, so I got confused for a second there. Actually, speaking of Snow, do you have any idea where he was yesterday?
Is Snow guarded enough to keep them out of his head?
When he's sober.
That depends on what you're asking.
They're trying to figure out where Snow was the prior day.
They tried to pry into his memories of what happened while he was with the Bakken cultists, and it just turns into a Take On Me music video.
Yeah,
Just
you're
get
not wrong.
sucked in.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong on that one. There's probably a very large scene to leave it, even for Snow, on that one.
They take a quick peek at it and immediately exit. He was very, very high on something.
So basically, even he didn't know where he was.
Yes.
Also, it's worth noting, the moment that I was mentioning them going into his memories, I started looking for a blurb of a very specific clip, and it does not exist. Do not go in there! Woo!
Oh, the thing that I was thinking of is the if anyone's watched TTS, which I reference occasionally, is just Rogaldorn's. I suspect he was high on narcotics.
Snow was high and invited on yes.
It's a smash mouth, and they don't stop coming all over, just on repeat, on drinks, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
That's why we just need to cut out the middleman and have Zim give me soundboard permissions, and we just tally up how many soundboard things I play during the course of a stream, and I pay a tip of the same size, just 25 cents per soundbite I play.
I don't think I have the means of doing so.
Well, I mean,
you've run out of money so fast.
You have the tip the stream thing. So basically, it's just every time that I play a sound bite, I just put a little hash mark, and then it's 25 cents per hash mark, and I just tip that at the end of the stream.
Oh, you're talking about the sound bites on Discord here?
Well, Voice Mod has built-in soundboard functions. I'd play one right now, but you got upset last time I did, so.
I'd rather just stick to the, Well, okay, you could use them.
I would need to actually do some setups, so that'd be something for next week. By which I mean 3 months from now when we have our next game.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Sunseal, inebriation is 9/10 of Snow's life. That just means that the stuff that he can remember is purely a highlight reel.
Can you really trust the memories that come out of Snow's mind?
Well, the last thing that came out of him ended up making Rose get dizzy just from contact high, so... You were so drunk that you were literally giving the dead a buzz, okay?
Most excellent.
What would you do with a drunken snowcat? What would you do with a drunken snowcat? What would you do with a drunken snowcat early in the morning?
Shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning.
Way up she rises, way
Hold on a second. Why do we have rusty razors?
That's the
Specifically for
thing he has
torturing
the
the
problem
drunkards.
with.
Well, yeah, if it's rusty, it's not properly maintained.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both, yeah, for wrong reasons.
Timber, we have a rusty razor for the exact same reason as we have a magical fire prod. Speaking of which, the job that Rose might have for the kobolds later. I'm still kind of mulling something over in my head, so that's back burner right now.
So anyways, I guess while Rose and the twins are arguing, Alexi's just coming in.
Yep.
That'd be pretty funny.
Completely oblivious to the argument going on, Alexi just wanders in, creates a mold and starts heating bronze to pour into it.
She would have already been at the forge. She would have taken the twins' advice to talk and work at the same time. Although, because it's a telepathic conversation, all that Alexi would notice, if he cared to look up, is that she keeps glancing over at them every so often, and there are reactive expressions. But, I mean, if he did just... it wouldn't put it past Alexi that she's already using it, that he just... If she's already using it, he would just walk up and start using it as well. Blah, blah, blah.
Especially if she puts down the tools for a second. And he just walks up and goes, oh, hey.
Goes to pick the calipers back up, they're gone.
To make sure the
Alexi,
crucible
can I
is
help
all.
you? Oh, sorry, I talked over you there.
Maybe do you know where the I think I'm gonna need a 3/8 inch bolt loosener for this. Maybe. It's quite clear Alexei has not slept since he was told that he should be upgrading the ship.
Yep, she's just going to casually pick him up, carry him over to a chair, set him down.
Charcoal, that's what I need.
When Rosalia tries to pick him up, she is unable to. The twins are going to use telekinesis to just hold him in place.
I need charcoal and
Wait.
parchment to...
Twins, he is barely awake. He needs to sit down.
Does he?
Well, I mean, I don't know. How hot is that forge? What happens if he blacks out and face plants into it?
They look at each other, and you can hear their bellies rumble in unison.
Wolf, Loth, we do not eat friends. I already had this conversation with Gar.
Fine. They are going to,
Unanimous dispensation.
Oh, jeez.
I am being very magnanimous.
Razim contract.
Tochemay.
I think Toshi's being more magnanimous.
Thank you so much for that tip. That is the tip goal fully completed. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back to the previous one then.
With all the variables we have, we could use some constants.
But yeah. So, they'll go ahead and, lift him and start carrying him off to his bed.
Has he actually been assigned one of those?
You
I think we
will.
had this conversation last time where at least there's spare beds, so it'd be pretty easy for him to be.
Just throw him in a random bed that is now his.
Just watch out for an orphan still being in there.
I believe we call those pillows. Although you have to be careful about what species they are, because if you just throw them into a hammock and the orphan in the hammock happens to be a tabaxi, you're gonna have a lot of claw marks on you.
Oh, a porcupine.
No, you need to be a certain catfolk to have the claws that actually do damage.
They are just going to assign him a bed.
Understandable.
And tie him in place.
Oh.
Kinky.
And then go and get the ship ready to sail.
That's always going to help with Timber doing that. That'll be nice.
There are definite signs that the oars are being tinkered on.
And I guess if this is around the time that food is to be made, I'm just going to make a roll here. Oh, not bad.
Nice. You're making a pretty good meal.
Yep, he'll be making food for everyone that steps foot into that kitchen.
All right. Would you like to describe what the food is, or is it just nebulous fube?
I have no idea what is in that kitchen. It is literally whatever he can find scrounged down. And there will be definitely a sign with vegetarian and not vegetarian.
Got it. So the twins are going to eat all the vegetarian food.
And you're doing that when Rose already skipped breakfast.
I don't know. That sucks to suck, I guess.
I would like to petition that the Marten twins alignment is no longer true neutral, but is evil neutral.
No, they do a lot of good stuff.
So does
They
Rose.
just have to balance out the good with some evil. That's how you stay neutral.
What even is the twins' official alignment anyway?
It's actually lawful neutral.
Yeah, see, there's an alignment requirement, like how because Rose is a Necros, she has to be evil. Because they're lawyers, they have to be lawful.
I like how this puts a lawyer at the same, like, you know, moral kind of relativism as Necros.
Or demon.
That was the joke, yes.
Yeah.
They do. They don't care about the law of the land at all. They have their own moral compass that they follow. But they do follow that to a T.
I thought that was chaotic.
No. That is lawful.
Lawful neutral can do that. Chaotic would be more of like whatever benefits them and fits them in the moment.
Like the difference between premeditated and impulsive.
Alternately, the punk scene.
They don't do anything. They don't really do anything by impulse. They think through what they're going to do.
Except wander off without.
It's just that some of their decisions seem impulsive because they don't explain themselves beforehand, and because when they do think through things, they do that whole seance thing with each other, so they're working at double speed to think through it.
Exactly.
And it isn't like they need to talk to each other in order to like agree on something.
Precisely.
They're cheating. They're cheating. They have a multi-core processor.
But you know, either way, it's just a. They have their own moral compass, and part of their moral compass is that they do need to be gremlins.
Oh yeah, what Sunseal said. It's just malicious compliance.
Oh, 100% they do engage in malicious compliance. They have done that many times.
But yeah, no. So the thing about lawful neutral and chaotic neutral is that they're surprisingly like close to each other in terms of some of their ideals, which is kind of funny, actually.
It's just the horseshoe paradox.
A little bit. It kind of depends about which dint you look at it through. Because for things like you know, being a lawful neutral, like, you know, your character can be lawful neutral and believe that the, like, you know, laws of an area are not correct and sufficient of things and go based off of your own thing. But they also aren't going to go around being like actual like criminals.
Yeah, perfect example actually is Relago. Is that Rose 100% does not agree with the necromancy ban, but she still follows it because that is the law of the land. So, you know, she just does most of her necromancy on board the ship.
I'm not on the land.
I'm not touching you.
Random inspection.
Yep. So, you know, there's different flavors within, like, you know, the various
It's a spectrum.
yeah.
In
Anyways,
other news, this is why
continue.
we don't bother with alignments in Scar.
Character's gonna do whatever they're gonna do anyway.
Does it result in 15-minute sidebars?
Every game results in 15-minute sidebars. It's a tabletop.
True.
And there are a
Discussing
lot of
the sidebars turning
disagreements
into a
about
sidebar.
what people's alignments are.
So
Anyways.
how's getting the ship ready to go going?
Yeah. Timber, go ahead and make me that profession sailor or Kriegsmarine or whatever you have it named as.
Moin.
Marine. Okay.
Looking for it. There you go. For the Kazorn! Yeah.
I have a good way of explaining this. Timber, this is the first time that on this iteration of the ship, you have not had trained Wolven help in setting it up, so it's going a bit slow, just due to you having to do a lot of things where before you could just order 1 through 3 of your Wolven followers to complete it. Now it's more... You can't really
Brutus,
delegate
dude.
that
Oh.
much.
Hey, Elf! Oh. Depression sounds.
You are still able to, like, you know, get it mostly ready, but, you know. I guess the twins will be coming out to help you out when they're done talking, so... I'll say that the twins will probably be able to help you finish off and get everything settled, but it is, it took a lot more effort and time than you were kind of used to.
How long is that taking, and how long did it take for Rose to finish casting all the armor scales?
Well, for the ship being ready, it's going to be taking most of the morning for that.
All right, and she set up molds for the scales, so that's pretty streamlined.
Yeah, you can make this. You can make the armor scales pretty easily. The hard part is, you know, the whole actually putting
Installing
them to
them.
use.
Yeah.
Because effectively, right now, it's just shaped little bits of metal.
Yeah. Well, then at some point in time while they're doing preparations, Rose would be coming up onto the top deck in the power armor. Just, all right, doing a test fire of something. She's going to be firing out over the water with the chromatic armlet to see if her... So she designed it in such a way that there is an empty corridor in the arm of it, so that way she can fire out of the arm with the armlet. And she's just testing to make sure that actually works, and that, you know, having a necromantic creature wrapped around it isn't interfering with it. Up to you whether or not that actually does interfere with it.
That poor fisherman that's going to get beamed in the head.
I'll say that it'll work fine unless you're doing something that is either positive or negative aligned. Negative because it'll absorb it and use that to heal itself before it leaves the...
It'll ground out.
It'll ground out, and then for the positive, I think it's a pretty obvious reason why the corridor might not be sufficient for a positive on that.
Either one of them would cause the short circuit because one is the positive polarity, one's the negative polarity.
Yeah, so there's issues with that, but besides that, you're fine.
All right, she's taking note of that, and she's going to be working on some schematics to try to find a way to account for that problem.
All right.
Hey, Taldarius, since the twins came up, Timbo did want to talk to him.
Alrighty.
Hey, Loth, Wolf, you're good at walking with leather, right? I remember that.
Yes, we are.
You think you can make me a new pack? Like a backpack, a rucksack?
Oh, that kind of pack. Yes, we could.
I got some leftover, the smallest ones if you need extra materials.
No, we could go get materials.
You think you could incorporate some of those pieces into it, though? It would mean a lot to me.
In that case, yes.
Timbo's gonna go to his room and gather all the 3 demolished backpacks.
Alrighty. You may do so.
Maybe a sleep sack too. You know,
They
so when we go
blink
on our
at
next
him.
adventure, we can do adventure stuff.
What's a sleep sack?
All right, nope, never mind. I'll just sleep on the ground.
They tilt their heads in unison.
You seen me use it before. I roll it out and I sleep on top of it.
Oh. Okay, yeah, we can make that. We'll be back.
Thanks, guys.
They are going into town.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna go back to Snow to ask what Snow's doing. Besides, once he's done cooking, if anything.
Well, he would want some bolt. But they said that someone could make that on the ship. So I guess he would head down to the forge, and before the twins eat all the vegetarian food, seeing that they're just devouring it, Snow will squirrel away at least something for Rose.
Well, it's more that the vegetarian food is just kind of doing the Fantasia float, or, Merlin, whatever, floating away thing through one of
Pots
the
and pans
windows.
scene.
Yeah.
And Snow can easily just make more and bring another one down.
You know,
Uh,
when the Sorcerer's Apprentice did that flying stuff thing, he ended up flooding the Sorcerer's lair. So could you not do that to the ship?
They make no promises.
So, Ozilia, that's the thing you've been working on?
Yeah, I've noticed that my combat proficiency is rather lacking when I'm not able to actually employ my constructs. So I decided, why don't I just wear the construct?
Oh, there you are. I thought you were at the forge.
Well, yeah,
She's
but
test final fancy omelet thingy.
yeah, and I felt a little bit of feedback on it too, so I'm gonna have to do something to create an energy channel, which unfortunately means I'm gonna have to get the tattoo updated. So the kobolds are gonna be overjoyed.
Snow is going to be climbing up onto the suit and is just going to be placing a bowl of whatever vegetarian food they had. The twins were gluttonous and ate everything else vegetarian. I saved you at least.
They tend to do things like that. And
I'd eat bolts.
Oh, all right. Well, I can shelf this for a minute. Kind of a slow burn project, anyways.
I mean, it's large and slow, so not my thing.
Well, you say slow, but there are a few tweaks that I can make to give it decent overland speed. Not necessarily agile, but getting from point A to point B.
I would be curious to see how fast that thing can move.
Not as fast as you or Gar, if that's what you're wondering.
I mean, not too many things are as fast as me. I mean, the Longstriders back home, they're faster than me.
I'm suddenly curious if you could win a race with Svefenthorn by himself.
Anyways, I could really use those bolts. But
Alright.
60 would be appreciated.
Alright, I already have clay on hand for making molds with, so... And I'm done making the armor scales, so yeah, I can break that down and then reshape it. What style heads are you looking for? Just standard broadhead?
Nothing special.
Alright.
Much appreciated.
And actually, since this isn't just a featureless disc, it's actually something that's going to have the proper dimensions and be sharpened. Since 50% of a bolt is wood, could I use my carpentry roll for this? Because, you got to make sure that you're using wood that's not going to warp over time and make sure that the weight balance is right and all that.
Okay, so... So... Making arrows is generally under a specific craft skill. If you have carpentry, I'd say that you could definitely make the arrow shafts yourself very proficiently. But for finishing it out, I'll probably say that you'll probably need someone to...
Twins, since Alexi's out cold at the moment, I know that making blades that keep an edge, that takes tempering. Do you have any skill at tempering metal properly?
We do know metalsmithing.
Right, he's needing 60 bolts made. I can do the fletching and the shafts, but
We also can do carpentry. And we can make jewelry and leatherworking.
From now on, your names are Mary and Sue.
We just have a lot of skills to try and be useful, and nobody wants them.
I literally just asked for your help.
Yeah, because Snow was out cold.
Alexi, you mean?
No, you said Snow.
Did I say so?
Yes.
Oh, Alexi.
Okay, because Alexi's out cold.
I mean, I'm quite conscious right here.
Oh, so you are. Well. We kind of cut you out of the network. Stopped listening to your thoughts because you went on a very interesting trip.
This doesn't bode well. While I'm waiting for the confirmation that we're actually going to go and do the crafting checks, I was just kind of like dropping the dice randomly, and it rolled 2 1s back to back on carpentry checks outside of the box.
Also, yes, you guys will be having to roll for this, but obviously.
Well, she's going to make a test batch. See how well that goes. We suck.
Guys, making arrows is DC 12.
Okay.
Unless you roll a 1, it's like almost physically impossible to fail. I don't even know if the system allows nat 1 failures on skill checks.
Technically speaking, no. I just tend to do like a funny thing if that happens for
Fair.
like, you know, the funny reasons, but it doesn't actually auto fail you.
Because there are several times that Rose has made bird fear-seeking missiles, she does have some feathers on hand for doing the fletching, so I'm going to assume 22, 23, and 36. Between the three of them, they're able to make the bolts just fine.
Yes, in fact, you're able to expedite the process in addition to it because you passed the DC by more than 10.
And Rose
Guys,
will
arrows are not that complicated. It was just me wanting to make sure that, like, you know, because no one specifically had like, you know, the bow one.
And Rose will be taking careful notes while the twins are making the arrowheads in particular, and she'll be using the stopwatch to precisely time how long the quenching is, and she'll be checking what angle they're holding them at for sharpening and all that. She's using this as a learning experience because she realized, hey, this is a thing that I don't know.
Do they actually bother using tools, or do they just telekinetically pick things up?
I mean, they telekinetically pick things up, but it's, you know, they're picking up tools and using those.
Oh, yeah, I mean for, like, quenching process and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that just telekinetic.
Where it's just that? I was about to say, because, like, I don't think that,
they don't need tongs.
you know...
I'm going to pick up a pair of pliers to pick up this hot piece of metal and then dip it.
To be fair, that would be very cute if they did that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the thing that she's taking the note of. She's not taking notes on the technique for the quenching. She's taking notes on how long the quenching is for the size of the metal being quenched. Because yeah, she doesn't have any skill at tempering steel, so she's making sure that she actually picks that up. Obviously, she's not going to be able to become a master just from one observation, but it's groundwork.
And then the Marten twins quench Rose.
They've already done that.
I think they've done that to most people. But anyway, you guys would be able to successfully make the arrow, or not arrow, well, arrow bolts. The bolts.
The pew-pews.
The pew-pew. The wooden metal pew-pew.
The long-range spare parts acquisition mechanism.
The miniature spear.
Yes, the hairfolk-sized spears.
The long-range hole puncher. Suppressed.
Rest edition. But yeah. So, that's been completed. Alexi, are you going to be doing anything this morning? Because I know you kind of got tied down onto your bed.
I mean, mostly being tied to the bed, in the not fun way, but you know, also drooling. But we can figure out how much progress Alexi made overnight, I guess.
Yeah, that'll work.
That be profession tinker or knowledge engineering? All right.
I went ahead and rolled survival to, I guess, set the DC to get out.
So hooray! 29 points of progress on the retrofitting of the ship's propulsion system.
Yep. This is going to be a rather long-term project, but that is a very good start to things. Congratulations. You have done some engineering things without it immediately blowing up in your face.
Hooray!
I don't know why, but you just constantly have all of your engineering rolls blow up in your face.
They're engineering rolls. That's what they're for.
True.
So, yeah, while they're finalizing the work on the bolts, Rose is actually going to ask, like, so there's something that's been kind of at the back of my mind. When we faced that, redacted thing in those caves, it tried to pierce the telepathic network. You were able to keep it out, but it brought to my attention that that's something that we need to be prepared for. I was thinking maybe you could help me with training on how to keep people out of your head. Because you've been able to pretty much force your way into my mind whenever you want. And for various reasons, I haven't bothered putting up much resistance to it. But if there was a hostile entity that tried to do it, I need to be ready.
They're going to look between themselves for probably the longest pause that you have ever seen them take. About 5 minutes later, they look back at you. Okay. We will teach you. But
This would be
it will not be a pleasant teaching.
This would be contingent that you do not use that training as an excuse to start causing periods of psychosis. And you know exactly what I mean because you've done it before.
If you want us to train you, you must accept our training methods.
Or you could just turn your brain off.
I can train from both sides towards the middle. I mean, I already figured out how to turn my heart off. I can figure out how to turn my brain off, too.
Sure. It doesn't really work that way. You quite literally quiet your mind to no thoughts.
Yeah, and that's what I do with my heart. I completely turn off anything coming from it.
What you're thinking right now.
Yes, because my brain isn't turned off.
You'll see Snow's eyes kind of go blank for a second, almost like glazed over. But mine is turned off now.
Well,
No, that's the face you always make.
so the thing about turning off your mind, it makes it difficult to read surface thoughts, but it doesn't really protect you from intrusion to get to the deeper. Actually, it kind of helps.
It actually does. It does help. It is still mind. Gives me a +2 to my saving throws.
Well, that's something that we can start working on once we're underway. Right now, we need to finish preparations to get out of here because we have a lot of things on our plate. And once the Imperium shows up, I don't want to stay here any longer than we have to.
Well, your choice. I'm gonna need those bolts sometime today.
Oh, we're already done.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, turns out once you get a production line set up, it goes pretty fast.
I mean, I never really made bolts before, so I'll take your word on it. This was fast. He gathers all the bolts up and shoves them into his pack. And I believe Snow is going to be running about. I think he's going to go look for timber.
Timber's on the deck, looking east.
You know, that conversation that we had, looking down upon pretty much everyone's accomplishments. Didn't appreciate that.
And?
You're gonna meet me outside in an hour. I challenge you to a duel.
I got $20 on the big one.
I will wait then.
I'm sorry, Rose. I cannot take that deal. I do not want to take the rest of your antlers if you lose.
So it's you that's been pillaging my supply pile. I knew it.
Because bucks and coins are not the same thing in this world.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess
especially not
Snow,
with Rose around. I mean,
I guess Snow is going to be preparing for that. Well, what is everyone else going to be doing up until that hour?
well, let me ask one question. Guard does have a meeting to get to.
And I would like an escort from Rose, please. Since this is to the temple.
Yeah, she'd be going with him, but she'd only be kind of like half paying attention to the path they're taking because she's working on some schematics. Which, if Gar cares to look, it's schematics of the tattoo that goes from her neck to her elbow, and she's working on an expansion to it.
Oh boy, getting a little bit more work done.
Well, I've been wondering about the possibility of potentially extending the range on this and preventing any feedback issues. And I noticed when I was using when I was wearing care, yeah, can't pronounce things. I noticed when I was wearing care that there was a slight bit of feedback. So I'd like to create a channel that prevents that from happening, because if I, for whatever reason, need to use positive or negative energy while I'm wearing that thing, I don't want it to short circuit.
Or feedback into you.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I meant by short circuit.
Oh, I thought you meant by blow up your arm.
Well, I mean, if I was firing positive energy and it fed back, then yeah, it probably would blow up my arm. All the more reason to create a a channel around it. Of course, the real problem with that is that once upon a time, I could actually feel those currents. Now I kind of have to just hope. Next tower reclimb, I'm going to see if I can get my antler fixed. So I highly doubt any regular healer can fix it.
And I know that we're still planning on going to the towers. Have you given any thoughts on what Alexi and Snow might want to be as gods?
I'm going to be honest here. I kind of don't care.
Or what kind of god you're going to be?
Gar,
Because
I've given that quite a bit of thought, and I have some thoughts regarding it. And those are thoughts that I'm keeping to myself.
Understandable.
If it's any consolation, I can 100% guarantee that there's no chance of me becoming a cruel and malicious god. And we can leave the phrasing at that.
or what type of god I'm going to be.
Of course, it's acting on the assumption that we actually managed to climb all of them. Remember, Dragomas has still parked his fat paladin rear on top of one of them.
And we still have plenty of other goals to do first, like the twins and timbers.
Yeah, speaking of, Timber seems rather insistent on curing his condition not being the top priority, so to my understanding, we'll be heading towards the twins' objective first.
One of their relatives. Okay.
Yeah. At the very least, us prioritizing that. I mean, not that I wish harm upon their family members, but if they're being actively hunted, I would actually like if we get there. I would like if we get there before they come to harm, that we sit and observe for a little while. Make sure that we're close enough to intervene if anything happens, but it would give us a chance to see what specifically is hunting them. And depending on what it is that's hunting them, we could potentially capture and interrogate.
And you know me, I don't capture too well.
Well, I mean, if you, depending on what it is, if you kill it, that's just a temporary setback. I'm more than capable of bringing the dead back for the purposes of interrogation. We don't even need any money for it. Just, we have to make sure to kill them again afterwards.
Unless it's something like what we faced down below.
Yeah, if it's something like that, then no interrogation, no resurrection, just blow the crap out of it.
We're pretty sure that is what is hunting our family.
Pretty sure isn't 100%, and with people like Dragomas in the equation, I would like to get a little bit of intel on our enemies.
Would you have been willing to put your own father in there as bait?
The entire time that he's been with me since he died, how many times have we faced off against people that can manipulate, capture, consume, and destroy souls? He was in the same danger as the rest of us, and he does so willingly. If he didn't want to be here anymore, he is free to pass on. That door never closed for him.
But they're not doing this willingly with your proposal.
Fair point. Of course, that brings up a question. That question is, if you were to communicate to them, if we manage to get to them before they come to harm, that we would like to use them as bait and be ready to swoop in if they're in any sort of danger, would you be willing, and do you think that they would be willing?
It all depends on which family member we find. There's a lot of them. Everyone has their own goals, personalities, and such.
And us walking through the town, I'm sure the Fluffles are giving me plenty of looks.
Many scandalized looks, indeed.
Don't worry, he's one of the good ones.
Avoid eye contact.
Casual racism.
Here's a question for you, Rose. Am I in stride with you or behind you for this?
Well, I would say in stride with, since they're talking. He's not going to be talking over his shoulder.
No, it's mental. Because don't want to be talking about this type of stuff in front of public.
mean, that's fair. Considering that it's all hair folk around, they have absurdly good hearing. And in any large fluffle, yeah, it's fluffles of people instead of crowds of people, you can be sure that there's at least one... Oh, someone died. Timber died.
Timber, yep. Probably just
You can be sure that there's at least one person that's on Orchid's very long informant list.
Yeah, the reason why I was mentally asking about the side by side or behind is they thinking that I'm being commanded by you since you're the death priest.
Are you saying that you look undead?
I'm saying that I'm an embodiment of death to the people here.
Fair enough. But by now, I mean, it's a small town, so by now they've surely noticed that she's that she has a few gnolls on hand that 100% aren't going to misbehave.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what's No Name been up to this whole time?
It's still mostly just like attempting to adjust. This is a very weird circumstance for him to be in. So he's mostly been trying not to piss you guys off and get killed.
And he actually has food. He doesn't have to scrape by.
Yeah, he's just casually attending one of Sycamore's lessons on basic spelling, basic reading comprehension, and slightly concerned about the fact that it's a ghost giving the class.
That is a bit concerning, yes, but again, doing his best to not piss the people off that could each individually kill him like 10 times over. At least.
There's a certain point at which you have to come to the realization that you aren't a friend, you're a pet.
I know I am.
No, Gara's referring to the other one.
But yes, you two would be able to arrive at the ziggurat with no problem. You have arrived for your meeting.
For the appointment. Now, where to go in here?
Oh, Timber's back.
Just in time for the meeting.
Yeah, once they're all set up for his next round of healing, she is going to be putting the schematic away and paying full attention.
All right.
Because she doesn't trust them not to make mistakes out of nervousness or to sabotage things.
Well, they
Basically,
are certainly nervous. That's for sure.
She's putting herself in their hooves. If this thing is the representation of what's been tormenting your people for years. She's just thinking about how visceral her reaction to Gar was when they first met. Like, this is their first meeting with him, so it's probably going to go the same way.
And it doesn't help that I'm bouncing with nervous energy also.
Yeah. Not really, but thankfully, and I do put this in air quotes, you are dealing with someone who is used to having to keep their expression at least very neutral. Because if she reacted the way she wanted to all of the things the High Priest of Zeus says, there would be a lot more problems.
Side benefits of diplomatic skills.
Yeah, side benefits of diplomatic skills. She doesn't at least look like she's terrified out of her mind. She just looks mildly nervous. I suppose that this is the friend you mentioned that needed the healing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was resurrected, and the fatigue from that is still lingering.
Okay. Yeah. I think I can help with that. Just let me go ahead and get the and she's
The
just not
diamond
gonna
dust?
she's not gonna like finish like talking about it. Instead, she's just going to kind of like scooch over to the little like safe that she has and start putting in the combination. She'll mess up the combination like once and have to restart, but that's all.
If it would make you feel better, you can put me in chains. Whatever you need.
I don't really keep chains on hand.
Actually, here's something that might make you feel better. What did I do to that entire Knoll encampment? Well, not me alone, but what did my group do to that entire Knoll encampment just a couple days ago? This is a single Knoll. Do you honestly think that you're in any danger here?
Well, you could kill them, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't get to me first.
Okay. Follow up. If he did get to you, how dead do you think would be too dead for me to just bring you right back? Or to step in the path of death?
Okay, Rosalia, I know a bit more than others might about your position. So, I know that you can't just bring me back.
You know, you people put way too much weight on having a heartbeat. It's overrated, you know.
She is just giving you, like, the most stare possible.
Rose, there's resurrection and there's true resurrection. They would like true resurrection instead.
Suffice it to say, Gar has been a trusted member of the crew for quite some time. Gnolls may have a propensity for barbarism and violence, but that doesn't mean that they're incapable of better things. Perfect example. Airfolk have a propensity for panic, and yet you're here.
Why did you have to use barbarism for the barbarian?
That one's a little bit harder to defend. But she'll just go, okay, I don't think that anything you say when it comes to this in this manner is particularly going to help. You can say that he's... I guess you're trying to claim that he's civilized, and I guess I don't really know enough about him to dispute that, but that doesn't change the fact that there is a rather large gnoll sitting in my office right now. I'm not saying that I'm not going to help him, it's just... disconcerting and concerning would be understatements.
If there was an undead directly in contact with him, would that interfere with the healing process?
I don't think so, but I also...
Thorn, would you kindly bind his arms?
Rose, you would know very well that there isn't exactly a large amount of undead around here to have this sort of knowledge.
Well, then we could find out together. Yeah, Thorn, would you kindly bind his arms?
And Svethenthorn will try and grab at Gar's arms. Will Gar resist?
No.
All right.
This is mostly just theater because I know that Gar has more strength than Thorn does.
Well,
if he wanted to rip his arms free, it'd be easy.
But she's just going to give you a look and go, okay, but if this does mess with it, I will not be held responsible about that.
If I sense any feedback, I'll pull Thorn off.
Okay, here we go. And she will get all of the materials ready. And will begin casting Restoration. Specifically, Greater Restoration, but...
Yeah.
It takes a good couple of seconds. And Gar, please clear your negative levels. As you feel the negative levels fall off of you.
Thank you, that feels so much better.
You're welcome.
I just realized every moment that Gar is every moment that Gar is in town in Lagos, it's just that Venom at the Wendy's meme. Correct, madam.
Yes, short, stiff answers. Don't want to do anything too jumpy to them.
But yes, Gar, you have been cured. And in the fun way, not the unfun way.
Rose, I think it's time that you have Thorn take me out.
We just got done fixing the... Oh, okay. I thought you meant the other kind of take you out.
I'm still bound.
All right. Thorn, heal.
And Svettenborn will release Gar.
And Priest, is there anything that I should know about this, or because I am a tower climber?
No, just it would have taken longer with multiple sessions of this if I didn't have access to the really expensive component, but with this, that should be all of your issues cleared up.
Thank you for your time. We will be leaving the island soon.
Wait a minute. I have a blurb for this. If it would actually load. There it is. There it is. What do you mean not authorized to make a transaction? What? I'm refreshing the page. Why does blurb always break at the worst times? Come on, you stupid thing. There it goes.
Was that so hard? Frickin' drama queen.
Yes, it was hard for both of us.
Giggity.
Now, is there anything that Rose needs to do while we're at the cigarette?
Check in on how the Altar to Hades is coming along. It should be done by now. And checking in on, I can't remember his name. The spell scribed mummy.
All right. So for the Shrine to Hades, it would be constructed basically just whatever you told them to do. They didn't deviate. They didn't add extra things. It's just whatever you told them is what they did.
You know the French catacombs where they have the walls of skulls and stuff?
Yeah.
Basically that, but the Knoll skulls from the fight. But done tastefully.
And I'll leave 2 copper pieces.
He's
All right.
pre-ordering his boat fare. See, that's why it is that Rose has to pay double for boat fare. It's because she has the DLC. Yeah, I looped back to that joke. But yeah, she will be making sure that the spell scribed mummy that he's settling in well. Because she knows personally that adjusting to being undead is a jarring process.
Seriously, jarring.
I see what you did there.
I didn't, you did.
Would you believe me if I told you that the pun was unintentional? I didn't even notice that I said it until you said something.
Even odds.
All right. So you have checked on the shrine you wanted constructed. Is it to your satisfaction?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm also checking in on the mummy to make sure that he's adjusting well.
All right. So for him, he would reply to you that he's only had one existential crisis.
Well, you're doing better than I did. Since it seems to be the theme of the day, might as well mention, adjusting to not having a heartbeat. That one was the hardest one for me. Don't be surprised if you get tinnitus a couple times because of it. I hear that's a common problem for vampires.
I will take your word for it.
I have to say this out of character. Oh no, Timber's a vampire.
We are going to be shipping out soon, which means that the shrine would be entirely in your care, so if there's anything that you need while we're still here, I can make arrangements.
I don't think that there's anything that I need in particular. I actually think I need less than I did before. Which is strange to get used to. But I suppose it's certainly better than being dead.
Wait until the first time that you experience torpor. It's like the best sleep ever. Well, I guess I'll leave you to it then.
Yes, I never really said this, but thanks for the... I don't really know. Is there a specific word for this?
Reanimation?
That, I suppose that would be the best one. Thanks for the reanimation?
I mean, you could call it a stay of execution if you want.
I think I'd prefer not to, actually.
Guess that's just
because that implies that I'm going to get executed in the future, potentially.
That means that it's coming in the future. It's postponed.
Well, yes, everybody dies eventually. Some people die multiple times.
Well, I wasn't contending that. I'm just saying I'd prefer not to think of it as a stay of execution. I don't like the sound of being executed.
Yeah, I suppose that is a me thing, isn't it? Well, either way, good luck, good fortune, blessing of Hades upon you, and all that.
I was trying to think about something to say in return properly, but you're leaving on a ship, and I'm not exactly a priest of Poseidon.
That's fine. See, if Poseidon were to do anything to me, then he's picking on one of his brother's toys. So, yeah, he generally leaves us alone. The only time that we ever actually had some really bad weather, it ended up screwing over the people that were after us more than us. So, I mean, technically you could call that a mixed blessing.
I also don't quite like the idea that we're going to be referred to as toys.
Oh, you're just an employee. Me specifically, I would say I classify as a toy. There's a whole huge thing. It has to do with the collar, multiple reanimations, multiple lives. I could be here for an hour ranting about it. Suffice to say, he's a total unkind words.
Rose, would the blessing of Hermes be the proper way to send us off?
Hermes works.
God of travels?
Yeah, Hermes works.
Travels, thieves, doctors.
Off to Hermes Shrine then, I guess. Haha.
Yep. There doesn't need to be a whole scene for that, just because it would be the equivalent of like oh, okay, here's your blessing.
Hi, can we get blessings? Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Yeah. Can we get blessings? Yeah, here you go. Just a splash of holy water. And why are you screaming?
Your blessing is about to expire. Please insert 25 drachma.
We're sorry. Your blessing cannot be completed as styled.
That's when Temple plays.
Oh, actually, yeah, that just reminded me of something that I've been neglecting, but we can deal with that later. The, getting, the holy water treatments from the, acolytes every so often in order to keep the evil at bay. Doesn't really do a whole lot in mechanical sense, but it's a matter of mind over matter. It's symbolic.
It's also a matter of you're the one enforcing this on your own character, so whatever you say kind of goes on that one.
It's a matter of Rose believes that she's pushing back against the evil, and it's also a show of defiance against her master, so it's mostly psychological for her.
Alrighty.
Moving on to the others.
I was about to say, cutting back over to the oncoming duel.
Temple will just be waiting there the entire time. Almost like he's meditating. I guess I could roll a religion.
If you want. It won't really be very it won't you know what, actually, yeah, go ahead and roll that.
The twins are going to be getting on Timber's shoulders.
Kobolds.
For the Kazorn.
Hey, kobolds. There's gonna be a duel in like 1 hour, so maybe you could sell tickets, get some betting started. That's your forte, but you know.
All right. So with that 21, you'd notice that the Kaiser doesn't seem to be paying too much attention here. She seems to be paying attention westward.
Understandable.
Like, not like she's completely dismissed you, just more it isn't where her attention is. Her attention is west. That makes sense.
I guess since Timbo and the twins are all just out there, Timbo's gonna ask so twins, what's your got anything on your mind you want to talk about? What's your take on the situation at hand?
Well, he's picking a fight with our captain, so he's picking a fight with us.
Well, let's see if he can give an honorable duel. Surely he can redeem himself.
Well, the three of us will probably kick his butt very easily.
Twins, just stay on standby. This is obviously between me and him for now.
We don't think that's how that works.
I will let you know if I need your assistance.
They
You
will
can be my second.
They will sigh and go off to the side.
Timber will smile and just go, I told you what the signal was.
You're gonna have to remind me out of character.
It was
Two stomps.
the 2 stomps.
Ah, that's right.
Though you can tell that Temple is happy to know that you have his back.
The swish swish of tail against metal is a dead giveaway.
The wiggling of his chainmail coated tail. Jingle jangle.
Jingle jangle.
Yeah, and Rose and Chiefy are just going to be casually making a circle out of rope. It's going to be a sizable circle, like, 30, 40 feet wide.
Well, all right.
Because are they having this fight on the decks of the ship or on the pier?
Nope. I said
Well,
outside.
Outside, yeah.
Outside, so-
Somewhere outside.
Outside the
Yeah.
town.
Outside the town.
So yeah, they're going to be making a ring.
You'll notice that Snow will not be anywhere near the ring when he decides to poke his head out. He will be standing about 100 feet away. So, are you ready to begin? No magic? No outside help? This is between you and me.
That is going to be the purpose of the ring. And if anyone other than you two steps into it, I will personally remove them. If either of you two steps out of it, then you're disqualified.
I don't agree to your rules. I will fight how I prefer. And
Then
your
I will
tiny
fight how I prefer.
Well, if you're going to enforce this no magic rule and yet decide to go by your own rules, we think he should be able to use his magic then.
Does ki qualify as magic? There's a philosophical question for you.
It is a supernatural ability, so by definition it is, but Snow had no interest in using ki. But everything else he's using is extraordinary, so it is not magic.
So you gonna come closer?
I told you I'm going to fight how I choose to fight.
Understood.
Da da da
Roselia,
da 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 da.
Roselia, never mind the ring. He doesn't want to use such things.
All right then, Chiefy, move that to a straight line. All right, everyone that's observing, Stay on that side of the rope. If you cross it, I will remove you.
All right, and Chiefy will obey.
And when she asked the kobolds about drumming up some interest and potentially getting bets going, was there a turnout?
There would be at least some, although it seems the urchins aren't betting money per se. They have a different currency they usually bet in, which is they bet in duties and chores.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Winning side gets the like, you know, their chores, like, you know, effectively excused, and the losing side gets the winning side's chores like split between them. They aren't gonna bet money.
Well,
They usually don't have enough of the money in order to like properly bet anyway.
the main reason she was wanting to drum up a bit of interest is because this is furthering a plan that she had, as far as placating the priest of Zeus, because it was D. It's something that started with a D. The captain of the guard.
Demetrius.
I was gonna say
Demetrius.
Dimitri?
Demetrius, yeah.
She wants to be sure that Demetrius is, if not personally observing the fight, aware of its of what happened. So you're basically hearing secondhand accounts and all that. So 100%, at least the patrolling guards would notice that something's going on. Whether or not that would find its way to Demetrius would be up to you.
Yeah, at least right now, because you gotta remember the Ziggurat's like a bit away from town. So
Yeah.
right now, like they'll probably like find out about it later, but not right now.
So long as he's given something to chew on, that's the important factor.
Now, since this is at the docks, is your cousin going to be betting on the fight?
No,
It's
it's
not
outside
the
of
docks.
town.
It's outside of town.
Well,
But-
all the commotion would pass through the docks, so they'd probably be aware that something's happening.
Probably, but that also implies that he's not actively sleeping on his job right now.
Speaking of his job and his responsibilities, how mad is Orchid going to be that the kobolds are running the betting ring instead of him?
Oh, not very, actually. He won't care that much.
How magnanimous.
I take it the people of the crowd is small fry for.
It is
for Orchid.
mostly filled out with orphans and like some occasional drunk dock workers that were like nearby enough to like hear the excitement and traveled with. In other words, will probably spread through word of mouth, but actual profitability of this is questionable.
They're dealing in coppers, maybe the odd silver here and there, but nothing gold.
Yeah, and you know most of the orphans and urchins are betting in chore duties, so.
Whenever you two are ready to start.
I'm ready.
Snow will just nod.
For the Kaiser!
Drat. Snow rolled average.
At least you got
Actually,
a
that's.
buff.
I was going to say that's my best initiative roll I've rolled yet.
All right. Considering it's just the two of you, I don't see a need to really properly use the initiative tracker. It's just, oh hey, Snow goes first, pass turn when you're done.
Yep.
So I guess Snow is going to pull out his crossbow, and he is going to fire at Timber.
Boink.
I don't think that hits.
Nope.
And that Snow is going to move 70 feet in a direction of his choosing.
Away or closer?
Away.
Okay.
He's going to be keeping a specific distance.
And what is the specific distance?
Be keeping about 100 feet.
Yep.
Tim's gonna look down at that bolt, and he's gonna giggle. You're gonna have to face your problems, or else they will only get worse. Timbo is going to spend his turn to, what's that? The action full defense for +4 AC, and he's going to use his bonus action to cast Shield of Faith for +2 AC. For a total of 27 AC.
Feel the backhand of justice!
Correct.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's all Tempo can do.
Well, you have a movement action.
Tempo is going to stand his ground.
I'm bad. Bad to the bone.
Well,
How do I adjust my AC?
You'd put it in your misc modifiers for the thing. You know what? I'll put you guys on the initiative. I'll clear out the initiative tracker except for you guys. So that way you can roll on each other.
And I'm sorry to have to say this, Tanya, but neither of them are that lucky.
How do I... What's the misc?
If you go onto your character sheet,
Yes.
on the combat tab,
Combat.
miscellaneous misc, for the AC,
Yes.
you'd put it in there, or in like, you know, for example, like the one of the other areas, but
Yeah, second row all the way to the right.
Okay, hold on a second.
on your sheet in the combat tab.
Yeah, I'm clicking on it, but nothing's happening.
You need to click the lock at the top.
I
Oh.
unlocked it for you.
Okay. All right. So I have a natural +1. I'll just change it to a +7.
Yeah.
Okay. I could do this all day.
well, is that all Timber's turn?
Yep.
Well, Snow is going to use the sneak action. He's going to stealth. Yeah, 23. And he will move a slight distance away, at basically half his movement speed for where he was. And that'll be his turn.
Timbo is going to do the exact same thing he did last time.
Oh boy, it's the metapods.
Well, if it goes on too long, I'll end it. But I wanna see how this is gonna play out.
No, it matter. Yes, it's the Matapod situation until this turn. So I take it'd be my turn.
Yep, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, Snow is going to do the attack. He's going to do an attack action with the light crossbow, but he's going to use the snipe action. So I will roll to attack, and my next sneak, after my attack, I roll at -20 to maintain it.
Yep, but he gets it for free.
Yep. And I believe you are considered flat-footed, Timber.
And that means
Um,
that
You
would
lose your
end
dexterity
with-
bonus.
that would
yeah,
end
so
with-
you'd lose your dex bonus, but you kind of don't have that.
yeah, that still hits anyways.
That would be 11 damage, and I will roll my stealth. At -20.
Oh, thanks for updating my wounds.
I'm just used to doing that for you, to be honest.
You. Okay. Yeah, no, you notice where he is.
You cannot
Even
fight
Timber can-
injustice.
Even Timber can see that.
Yeah. So where is he? How far away is he?
He'd be in about the second attack bucket, about 100 feet away.
100 feet. A lucky shot. You're still gonna have to get closer than that.
And with his movement, he reloads and continues on. Honestly, this is basically what's going to keep happening. Snow is just going to keep moving 100 feet, keeping 100 feet away, and just keep firing.
All right, Timber, do you have anything to get past this, or is he just going to be able to shoot off until either he downs you or runs out of ammo?
Until he runs out of ammo.
All right. So you've used 2 bolts
2.
currently.
Yeah.
So do you want... Here's my thing, because the rest of this kind of doesn't matter. All that matters is the thing. So your bonus currently is +10 on accuracy.
Correct.
Timber, your AC is 27, and you're maintaining that, right?
Yep.
All right. In that case, I'm just going to mass roll a bunch of dice, and I'll let you know how many hits. Is that okay with you?
That's fine. And if he runs out of light crossbow, he will switch to his sling and just pick up random stones. It would be only a D4 -1, but he's not going to run out of ammo anytime soon.
Yeah, so 58 D20.
Jesus.
All right, so let's first of all see how many 20s are in there.
19s.
Oh,
Timber
19.
does have
Yeah.
actions available to heal.
And we do crit cards.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
bother
the,
with crit cards.
Yeah,
on
we're not
this.
bothered with crit
Yeah.
cards for this.
No.
Honestly, for stuff like this, we're just gonna go. Pathfinder has balanced crit rules anyway, where there's like different ranges and multipliers, and weapons are kind of balanced in Pathfinder around that anyway. So, but anyways, in terms of 19s and 20s, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll roll 5 more to see if any of them confirm.
And it's only ×2 damage.
And no confirmations. With that in mind, looking for 17 ups. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 connections.
And I would like to say, Timber, he did say no magic.
So what?
Timber doesn't consider this an honorable duel.
You fight the way you want, he gets to fight the way he wants.
Well, maybe
that
if
was
you
the agreement when you didn't agree to fighting in a
maybe
ring.
yeah, maybe if you were in the ring, Temple wouldn't be healing.
Fair enough.
All right. So go ahead and what we're going to do in order to make this easier is, do you mind if I just mass roll the damage?
Yes, you may if it's quicker.
Yeah.
9. So this would be
How many rounds of damage is this?
this is going to be spread over 9 rounds of damage. So
9 rounds of damage?
if you end up getting close to being downed,
Yeah,
you'll
Temple
have
does have
you'll
reactions
have
to
responses.
heal,
Yeah, you'll have responses. All right. So at the end of this, plus the 11 damage from before, with the addition for gonna be plus 36 because of the modifier. All right, Timber, you're at 87 wounds. You're not quite down, but you can heal as many times as you want, effectively, that you have access to, because action economy.
Yeah.
So how many lay on hands are you going to be using or healed?
Let me look. Temple has Temple has 8. Lay on hands at 46.
All right, so pick an amount of those to use and just mass roll it.
Okay. So here's 1. Here's 2. I'm gonna use 4. Yeah, I'll use 4. I'm really bad at counting. Hold on a second. So that's 1. Two. And 4. I think that's right. It's 4 uses of 4d6, so
Yeah, that'd be correct.
okay. I'm just making sure.
Which would bring you down to a total of 31 wounds. We already know. Go ahead.
So where exactly is every? I mean, I know Snow's 100 feet away from Tamball, but where's exactly is the party at?
They're behind a little rope off to the side.
Yeah.
Like watching.
And Rose is airborne, equidistant between the two of them.
All right. Temple is. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of because there's no map of where the people are at.
Yeah, it's just that they're mostly just like off to the side, like a safe distance away, so they don't get caught up in it, but can clearly watch.
Yeah.
Imagine like stands at like a sporting event, kind of like away.
All right. Temple will. Let's see. I'm assuming Snow's like in front of them. Ish. Temple's gonna move his whole 25 feet, I think. What's his movement?
I think you have a base of 30 and you're minus 10 because of armor.
Yeah, 20. So he's gonna move 20 back and Metapod.
All right. Well, we have entered the sling portion of this. Timber, do you have a plan for how to progress the fight?
Yes, but I'm gonna need him to come a little bit closer.
Okay, so you do have a plan, and I wanted to ask that before, continuing, because otherwise,
Yeah.
you know. So
After
Timber
this
does have a
calm
plan.
tempo, yeah, tempo. After tempo gets hit this time, he's gonna move 20 feet back again.
All right. In that case, Snow, you have ran through your crossbow bolts. Timber is still standing. He has healed back most of the damage you've dealt to him. What is your next course of action?
Real quick, the twins are going to be gathering up all of the crossbow bolts. Just floating them off.
out of the way.
Yeah.
Nope, Snow will keep at the 100-foot mark with the slings. That's still the second range bucket. And he'll just pick up a stone and load whip. Pick up a stone, load whip.
All right.
Unfortunately, that one's only a D4 -1.
Yeah. So, but you effectively don't really have to worry about ammo with it.
No.
So Timber.
Yes.
Knowing that he's going to be maintaining the 100-foot distance, do you have a plan still?
I'll text it to you.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because, you know, if you have the you have to have a way to progress on this.
Yep.
Tal?
Yep.
The twins are getting bored.
Understandable.
And Rose is getting annoyed.
I didn't say this would be an exciting fight.
Yep.
Oh, they're annoyed too.
Okay. So, Timber does have a plan, and it does involve things. So, you know what? I'll say that, like, Timber, you probably get plinked once or twice by the stones by the time that you're shuffling yourself to be more where you want to be for this.
Yep.
So, Snow, do you want to roll damage twice on that? It's a little like plink sling damage, but so I don't know if that matters to you.
1 damage. And 3 damage.
All right. Timber, you have reached the criteria for the plan that you sent me.
All right. So everything's in position?
Yes.
All right. Timber's gonna stomp his feet twice and think to himself, think to the twins, lift them 3 feet off the ground. Let's make this an even fight.
All right. Telekinesis on Snow.
How close are you?
They're staying, Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's they are nearby in the like roped off area that's like parallel to the fight, so they would be at least like moderately close.
I believe you said what's the range on your telekinesis?
Bringing it up.
You have like long range on that by now, don't you?
Yeah, they have a lot of range.
Well, the plan exactly was Temple tried to goad him to get close enough to the twins.
Yeah. Which didn't matter technically.
Is he still part of the collective?
Oh, I mean, he may be part of the collective, but the twins decide what messages get sent in and to where. Anybody that tries to talk to somebody else, the twins have to approve that.
Translate. Yep.
There will be a reaction from Rose when the twins intervene, because she is acting as referee.
Yep. But first, we will need to have the will save to avoid the telekinetic lift, hostile lift.
Alrighty. So will save. Where are you? Will save. 23.
And the second one?
Well, that first one failed.
Oh.
Save DC is 25 for one of them. So, yeah.
You do get to save, technically speaking, every round that they are maintaining this on you.
That is fair.
He still has a chance to break free as Temple slowly charges up.
Yep. But, Rose, you had an interjection here. What is your interjection?
The moment that she sees that, she's going to be looking at the twins. Would you kindly stop interfering?
We are not one of your undead minions.
It was one of the... Would you kindly is just her words of power. Doesn't matter because that failed epically. She was attempting to inflict a -4 decrease to intelligence score. But it failed, so... I'm clarifying what she was attempting because they would have at least felt the intrusion.
So about
it
that,
would not activate the mind trap because it doesn't actually enter your mind. It's just a magical curse.
Yeah, the trap only works if they get past the gate. In this case, she was stopped at the gate.
Point.
Also, I don't think your curse thing is psionic in nature. I think you're just putting a magical curse on an aspect of them.
Yes, but because
to make them stupid.
The curse was directed at their intelligence score, so.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't count as a mental intrusion by rules.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it's a -4 decrease to an ability score plus an additional -2 per 5 caster levels, so it'd be a -6 if it had succeeded.
Wolf is responding with a cerebral strike on Rose.
Alright, well, I got 100 feet to cross. I can't do that, I think.
You could try sprinting to get at least 60 of that down.
Wolf said Azim said that Wolf did a cerebral strike.
Yes. You
what do you roll for that?
take... It is 1d8 points of non-lethal damage per 2 caster levels. No save. So that would be that much damage. And 1d8 plus 1 per 6 caster levels of ability damage to your choice of the target's intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. Will halves. So that would be... that would not be enough.
It wanted to land on 19. It
They
so
are
badly wanted
targeting
to land on 19.
intelligence.
You said 2 damage? Okay, it's 3.
3.
Alright, and how long does that last?
It does not say that there is any, my
It
assumption
just
is...
looks like ability damage.
My assumption is next long rest.
It just functions as normal ability damage.
Which is...
Yeah, no, it isn't going to start wearing off until, like, you start taking rest.
I think it's 1 point per long rest.
I think so, unless it gets healed.
And that cost them...
I still got a bonus action.
2 spell
correct?
points.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd still have,
Because after the run, if I can, I would heal one more time.
Alright, you may do so.
And that would be Temple's turn.
Alright, so you are now 40 feet away from him.
Okay.
Snow, it is
Let
now
me
your
check
turn
the
again. You are being telekinetically lifted. Please make a will save.
I will make a will save. There you go. There's that 25.
And
believe
he's
he
going to be
saves.
grabbed by Wolf.
It'd be on my turn, unless you want to have initiative.
They would be preparing this action.
You did a cerebral strike with Wolf.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, realizing that the twins want to play dirty, Snow is going to be keeping his distance from the twins and once again plink and plink and plink.
So here's the thing about their range, because they have long range on it. That means that their range is like 760 feet.
What? Okay. I did not realize is that far.
Yeah, long range is 400 feet plus 40 feet per caster level, so... medium is the 100 plus 10, so even if they had medium, they'd potentially be able to get in range of you, but they have long range. They can effectively grab you if they can see you in this current situation. Which you could try reinitiating stealth, but with the snipe thing, you are going to be taking that -20, which will make it hard because the twins actually have perception.
Mm-hmm. Well. Yeah, no, there's not much Snow can do because he doesn't know the range of it. He's going to make a bolt to 70 feet and toss a stone because he honestly doesn't know the range on it.
Tempo's AC would be 23. Because he's not doing the full defense thing. That hits.
I haven't. Oh, that's that one.
That one.
Well, that's all Snow's going to do. But if the twins keep doing that and realizing that he's not going to get out of range, well, I guess Snow's going to have to do things differently.
All right. Well, so Timber, I'm assuming you're continuing the charge.
Yeah, Tempo's gonna yell, "Why don't we settle this like men and use our fists? If you're so confident in your punches." How far away is Temple?
I think he's
100 feet again because Snow moved to the other side and made the attack, so back to 100 feet.
Yeah.
The question is, do the twins do the thing they're going to keep doing?
Well, I think it depends how you respond here.
Eventually, he's just going to start charging. So, if the twins do that, he'll just go, very well, this it is. And he's going to do a charge. I'm going to say he's been in pummeling stance this whole time because I've had God knows how many turns.
A lot.
Yeah. You'd have at this point like around 70 turns about.
I need a bonus action, and it doesn't end unless I say so.
You've had like 70 turns.
Yes. So I guess Snow is going to do a pummeling charge. And he is going to do a flurry of blows. Let's see here. First attack.
That hits.
Second attack.
That. What's my AC at?
He said 23.
26.
23. No, it's 26 when I'm doing full defense. That hit too.
And yeah, I do get a +2 because I'm doing a charge. So that would actually be 29 and 26.
Well, they both hit.
Yeah. I really should just add that.
Yeah, it gets confusing.
Yeah. Modifiers.
24.
That hits.
And that one. And then
Starts out strong, but then Timber reacts.
Well, that's three damage rolls at +3.
So are we doing any crit fail cards for this?
Right now, no. Mostly just because it would make this take forever.
There we go.
And
so
I would like to be able to get you guys actually on the damn boat and off of the island.
I was not expecting this to take this long.
I was.
Expecting this may be a little bit out of turn, but it's not like it's affecting anyone else, and Rose isn't going to be interfering further. She's healing herself for the exact amount that she was damaged, apparently.
Convenient.
Convenient,
Yeah.
yes.
And nope. Nope, Snow's not going to use any key. He's going to keep to his word. His AC is 18 right now because of the charge.
And it's odd. The barbarian is the only one not wanting to get into this fight.
Well, Alexi's busy being, tied down on his bed, apparently.
Alexi's like, guys! Guys!
Literally, the entire ship is just gone.
Gilling got back to the berth, and you just.
So
he wakes up tied to the. He wakes up,
but not a me.
He wakes up tied to his bunk in an empty ship, wondering where everyone's at. Then just slowly a ghost creeping into the room.
Don't worry, that's a mage hand.
Anyways, Timber, I believe it's your turn.
Just Sycamore checking in on him.
Yes.
You are within melee range.
Real quick,
Exactly.
the twins are going to do one thing.
Okay.
They are going to use empathic healing to take the 25 wounds that Timber had before they got to melee onto themselves.
All right. The twins take 25 wounds. Timber has been. Your wounds have been removed.
All right.
When Rose sees that, she's just removing herself from the fight. She's going to go over to the rope marker and just land on the other side of it. I'm done with this.
So now the melee damage is back on of 19. Oh wait, there was one.
No,
There
it's-
was a bit more damage. There was 21 or 22. 22.
Yeah, 22.
All right, what's his AC at right now?
18.
18. All right. Temple is going to use a power attack for his, full round him with melee. Sorry.
Full round
Read
attack.
Yeah, I was just reading what power attack did. That was how much extra damage? It's been freaking forever. I know Temple has a power attack.
Extra damage at a negative to your attack. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's minus accuracy plus damage.
Yeah. I was just trying to. Pathfinder. Power attack.
Yeah. So power attack is you get -1 accuracy for every 4 basic attack. +1. 1 plus 1 for every 4 basic attack bonus you have. And the damage is 2 plus 2 per basic attack bonus. Every 4 basic attack bonus.
And I thought Timber said he was going to use fists.
That is fist.
Oh, fair. Okay. Are you trained in unarmed?
It has gauntlets.
Yeah.
For the sake of it, do I get a attack of opportunity?
You charged, didn't you?
Yep, I still get attack of opportunity though. You need improved unarmed.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
you still do need the.
I
improved
still
unarmed,
get
so-
attack of opportunity. Yes.
Yeah, you still take the attack of opportunity. It's just you can deal lethal damage and
Oh,
you know,
damn it.
all of that.
No, that's a mess.
You're really lucky we're doing crit cards in this just to
Yeah.
move it along.
I would like
Oh,
to bring those in,
That's 3 crit fails in a row. Yeah.
especially
I'm
now
getting all
that
of-
they're
Kaiser-
actually fighting.
See, that's just the Kaiser and protecting Timber.
Well, that's
Go ahead and make your attack, Timber.
Oh, I thought we were. Sorry.
Oh.
I was paused because I didn't know what we were doing.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll just ask, because we're actually getting into like fight proper now. Do we want to be using the crit cards?
Sure.
I vote yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it retroactive for that most recent crit fail?
I would
I'll-
say so.
I'll say yes because we haven't moved on from it, but I'm not gonna like backtrack and grab like the other ones from like the flurry.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
obviously not the other ones, but we're
Yeah.
making the decision based on this current one, so.
Yeah, so I'll say go ahead and pull one for the current.
Equal and opposite reaction. Both you and the target take maximum damage from this attack.
All right, so both of you take 13 then, I guess.
11 because it's technically not my turn anymore.
See, he tried to do the whole anime fist hits the other fist thing, but it's Timber's fist. Monk hardness versus Wolven brutality. Both of them have sprained wrists.
How come I can't change my hit points?
Here, I'll just change them for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I would like to
Muda.
say,
My hit
And I would like to
points
say-
are actually 14.
Well,
And I would like to
I'm double checking. So go ahead.
and I'd like to say, Snow, when he's doing unarmed, he is doing non-lethal. He is not doing lethal.
Yeah, so it does fall off after your turn. That's just what I wanted to check. Oh, okay, so he's dealing non-lethal.
Yes. Don't worry, I'll track my wounds there.
Yeah, but the twins healed Timble.
Well, yeah, no, I went and moved the thing to be
Oh, okay.
on the non-lethal column. Because there's a non-lethal column.
Yeah, so my base attack is just melee, the plus 14 minus 1?
It'd be -3.
Minus 3?
-3. And then take +6 to damage if you hit.
Okay. And this is 4 rounds, so 2 attacks?
I believe you're at 2 attacks right now, yes.
So here's the first one.
That does hit.
Hits, yep, because you're looking for 18.
Yep. I'm manually typing this in, sorry.
That's all good. Sorry for taking it. I did not think this would take so long. It's my bad for eating basically the whole session. And that hits. I would also
Okay.
like to say Snow makes a second attack of opportunity because I have more than one.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
And I think
That
that
hits.
hits. 9 damage.
This is non-lethal, right? That you're still
Yes.
doing for all this? Okay.
100%. I'll specify if I'm going lethal, but no. For
All
now,
right.
this entire fight will be not lethal.
All right. So for tracking purposes, Timber, is this lethal, non-lethal?
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal. Got it. All right. Go ahead and roll your 2 damage. Your 2 damage rolls.
My 2 damage rolls, yes. So with his size, it's 1d4 plus his strength.
Yes, and then +6
Okay.
for the power attack, I think.
Alright.
Yeah, D4.
D4, so it'd be plus 12 with his strength and the power attack.
Yeah.
And then the second one,
Wait, it might be +10. What's your strength bonus?
plus 6.
Oh,
22.
nice. In that case, yeah.
This is correct?
I just couldn't remember what your strength bonus was for a second. I'm like, wait, does he have a 22?
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, just Temple. When Temple throws a fist, it's actually kind of like more of a boop. Woven martial arts is kind of funny. He's basically batting you with his open palms.
Well, yeah, but that's still size large gauntleted paws, so.
And doing that, I don't have a bonus action, correct?
I
Temple
think you
still
still
has
have
a shield
Swift.
bash. Temple still has a shield bash.
Yes, but do remember that shields are considered weapons.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
All right, then I guess my turn. And another flurry of blows.
Since a round of turns has passed, yeah, Rose, she's just shaking her head and
Aw.
she is leaving by way of portal staff.
Oh, that's another nat 1. But I think that hits.
That one hits.
That one hits, yeah.
That one doesn't. So another nat 1 card.
Another crit fail, 1 hit.
Stance
How
could use...
many of those are you going to roll?
Better to get him out on this fight than something more important.
Stance could use work. If this attack was made with a limb, roll a DC 14 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, you fall prone. Do keep in mind that the DC will be different.
Yep, my standard is +5 for it being in Pathfinder. So DC 19 reflex.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Well,
Twins,
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a reroll. I'm going to use cat-like reflexes and do a reroll.
Yeah, Twins, on that changing of the rounds there, you would just get a sense of extreme disappointment and slight irritation from Rose before... And she is out of range.
All right. Sorry, it was cat's luck.
What was the DC?
19.
Nice.
So he exactly hit it.
I will accept that. And I roll
Hey, Snow.
damage, 8 damage.
Snow, You're still considered an ally to Temple. You get a +3 to that save. I was saving that for the very end.
Well, regardless, he's still saved. And I believe it is Timber's turn. And if you're going to punch,
Yeah, get the attack opportunity out of the way.
yep. We'll just
By the way, so I didn't ding you for this time, but next time, please remember that Cat's Luck has to be used
Yes.
before you attempt the throw.
That's my bad. I did read that just as I noticed it, because it's the first time I've ever had the opportunity to use it.
Yeah, I thought it was one you had to declare beforehand, so I double checked. But this is like party on party stuff, so I'm not going to ding you for it.
20, I don't think hits.
Does not hit.
But that one does. 11
That's a good
damage.
one.
And his AC is now 20 now.
Okay. Timbo
Actually,
is
I can merge these.
using regular strikes. Wait, hold on a second. What was my attack rolls?
I just realized the damage that was in the wounds column was the punch damage from before anyway, which was non-lethal, so I combined them.
Smite him, smite him, smite him, smite him.
This is
He can smite with a punch.
Yeah, but he hasn't so far. Of course, if Snow actually was knocked down, Temple was going to help him back up. Alright. I'm going to power attack.
Alright. -3.
-3. For the Kaizorin! Ah, there we go. Give me it. Give me
the
it.
fumble. Punish the Timber. Make him happy. He's being punished.
Well, that one does not count for this. Okay. Ow, ow, ow! Make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, you are unable to attack with this body part for 1 minute.
Alright.
Alright, DC 17 Fortitude then.
Trying to get my saves up, sorry.
Actually, I guess technically the one that the previous one would count because Timber considers Snow an ally, but because the previous one was
it's against. I'm guessing it's against the spirit of it.
Yeah, it was the card was you re-roll the attack against an ally within 5 feet of you and your target.
So now Timble's got a halt. You know, when they force did the punch and then Snow got a halt with him. Now Timble's kind of sore.
Yep, you can still use the limb, but ouch. That twisted wrong.
Yep. They're just wailing on each other.
They're just going at it.
Snow can see Timble's actually very happy about this. Even though it started a little stupid. Okay, second attack, -3.
Yep, -3.
Yeah,
Wait,
in Timber's...
That's, sorry, that's...
Well,
I
so
rolled the
there's
D20.
-5 from multi-attack and then another -3, so that's -8 on your bonus. You had 11
I have a
before.
+9, yeah.
Yeah, in Timber's mind right now, he's just going, I spend every day living in a world made out of cardboard. I have to be careful not to damage things around me. Points to anyone who gets that reference.
Well, yeah,
Superman,
that's just
yeah.
Superman.
Sorry,
So
I have a +9 base attack, and I have a -3 from that.
Well, yeah, but for the other one, you rolled 11.
Yeah.
So that's like your melee attack modifier,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So then you take -5 from that for this being your second attack. And then you take another -3 just due to power attack.
Yeah. So did that hit or miss?
That would turn that from 13 into a 16, so probably
Okay,
not.
missed. Yeah. All right. Your turn.
Okay. Punch. 24.
That hits.
Oh, damn you and your ones.
What? None of you are rolling 20s for this. I think I'm the only person who's rolled a 20 in this fight, and that was when I was mass rolling.
Yeah.
Tender, you deal half damage on your next 2 attacks.
Okay. So that was my second attack, so this one. And that's definitely a miss. And that's a hit. So this was the first attack before the nat 1, and this is after the nat 1. So that would be 6 damage. You said the next 2 attacks?
Next 2 attacks. So the next attack you hit's half damage.
Yep. And I guess that's be Timber's turn.
All right. Do your attack opportunity.
Okay, this will be half
That one hit.
damage. So I think we round down in this, so 1 damage.
Yep. Pathfinder's round down.
Poke him in the eye.
Oops, roll damage instead of attack. This is anyways.
This is anyways. Of course, it's on the time you roll max damage.
Of course, yes.
It's punishing you for grabbing the wrong dice. All right.
Oh, most definitely.
So, forced attack, power attack.
That just hits.
All right. Second attack. What the modifier is lower? What's the modifier?
-8.
Oh,
I
if you're
believe.
it's -5 from the thing, so from multi attack, so a total of -8.
Okay. I'll just hit -8. Okay, that
Yeah,
one
that's
misses. But plus the damage is plus which
Plus 6
plus 6.
from power attack. So whatever the
So
other
it's
damage
gonna
stuff
be
you
plus
have.
12 with Timbor's strength. 4. Yep, and it is now snowstorm.
All right. All the attacks again. Flurry of blows. I don't think that one hits. But that one does.
Yep.
And nope. And
Yes.
yes. So 2 damages. This one's half, so 4. And the next one is full damage. Ew. So 6.
Man.
Yeah, it is.
The dice gods don't like you today.
Well, you're
How
both
many times
officially
do I
in
have
the
to teach you
red.
this lesson? How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
You both are officially in the red now, by the way.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I guess it would be Timber's turn.
Yep. Same thing.
I think-
Roll your.
I think we're at the point right now where I'm going to roll. Oh, dang it, wrong one.
Yeah, wrong one.
I'll still
There you
take the
go.
damage. I'll accept the damage of 4 because I rolled that by accident. And I don't think 20 does.
Miss.
All right, Timber, you have been updated with your attack opportunity damage. Please make your attacks.
Okay. Power attack still.
Power attack still. All right. Same penalties.
-3.
That hits.
Your DC right now, your AC right now is 20, right, Snow?
Correct. Yep.
All right, just double checking.
Yep.
So you're looking for 20s.
All right, so it's 6. Sorry, I'm bad with math. It's 6 plus 6 for 12. When Timber's hitting you, it's at least halting.
Yep. You still have another attack to make if you want.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just. Let me get the
Oh, you're trying to put it in your sheet.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a D4 plus 12 when power attacking, but it's
Yeah.
plus 6 normally.
Honestly, just roll your second attack. You'll probably knock him out with your deck.
Nice.
If you land your next attack, he's.
Also
Yeah,
nice.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm saying nice is on the combat tracker
yeah.
because it's 69 non-lethal
69.
damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. Second attack is what's the math gonna be, guys? Sorry.
It ends up for your thing. It ends up being -8.
-8. Okay. I should remember that because I can count to that.
Yeah, it's the last number you can count to.
Oh, the Kaizorin! Nah, that doesn't hit.
Don't worry, the Kaiser's almost here.
Well, my attacks. That one definitely misses. Can I have one nat 20? Oh,
Almost.
Almost. That hits
one
at least,
hit.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
2
I
hits.
think that's 2 hits.
23.
And that one misses. So
All right,
2
2
hits.
hits. Roll your damage. You could win this here.
that would be 9, and that would be 5. So that would be 14.
All right. Timber, that is you out.
Damn.
Timbo
I
collapses backwards.
Snow, you are victorious with 3 HP remaining.
Oh yeah, no, Snow is fucked up from this.
Well, yeah. So Snow, you do the whole, uppercut, and Timbo stands up and he does the little shuffle.
Good.
When it comes to him, think of it as he's constantly been hitting your breastplate in the exact same spot again and again and again. You don't think to anyone else it doesn't seem like it's doing anything, but you're seeing
Timbo feels it, yeah. Yeah, so
you're
he's
seeing
just beating
you're
his
seeing-
chest.
you're seeing the waves of the metal, but every single strike is just reverberating the metal further and further, snapping further and further back into his chest.
Snow is hitting on the cancerous spot on Timber.
He doesn't know about that. Well, he knows of it. He doesn't know of any particular spot.
Yep. This has
Roll a
this has happened.
funny deck save because Timbo falls forward.
That's right. I could take anything you can dish. Oh, my organs.
Okay, I guess I'll roll a reflex save. Why not? I think 16 will probably...
Yeah.
Considering he probably tilts over first and you have a bit of
Yeah.
warning, yeah.
Yeah, Snow is just... He's panting. He's definitely bloodied.
Timber!
Okay.
That doesn't hit.
That would. The twins, they failed their self-imposed check. That will be a fire blast for 26 damage.
I have a question. I guess Snow wouldn't see this coming. And I guess that's lethal, so I don't know how lethal and non-lethal work, but I'm pretty sure he's out cold.
Yeah, they stack, but because you aren't negative in terms of HP, you're just unconscious. So I'm pretty sure they stack.
They're going to go over, kick grass or dirt onto Snow's body, and then telekinesis Timber away back to the ship.
Disrespectful. Ooh.
Well, they saw him as being disrespectful that entire fight.
Well, Snow would have something to say, but he's unconscious right now, so...
So, the fight is over then?
Yep.
That fight
Yep.
is over.
And the twins are
So-
currently taking Timber back to the ship.
Where Rose had gone is she had gone to the tavern to speak with Orchid.
All right. You're flying back, right?
She used the portal staff to make most of the trip, and then she can walk the rest.
All right.
She just wanted to get out of telepathy range as quickly as possible, because she had a lot of surface level thoughts that she didn't feel like sharing.
All right. In that case, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
What if I could find it? There it is. 25.
25. With that, you would be able to notice, especially as you're walking back to town and getting a bit of a view, what looks to be a fleet coming from the west.
Does it look like a Wolven fleet?
No, and you know that the Wolven are actually to the east.
Lovely.
If it was a Wolven fleet, there would be stacks of smoke.
That's what she was checking for.
Yep. Nope. No stacks of smoke. Wooden ships, at least you think so, and it's coming from the opposite direction of the Wolven.
Alright, she will deal with that later. She has other priorities at the moment. It's not like they're gonna teleport the ships to be right next to the island in the next 10 seconds.
What?
They've gone hyperactive.
You just had to say
Plaid.
that.
They've gone plaid.
Well, I
Okay,
guess
I'm here for
officially
two-
the twins would be going about, 30 seconds after Rose left.
Yeah, it's just more like who would see it first.
So yeah, when Rose gets there, I'm here for two things. One, I want to call my tab, and two, I need to trade an item. And if there was ever a day in our entire lives where I did not want to barter or be dicked around with, today would be it.
Ah, not in the mood.
There are no words in Celestial, Infernal, or the Tongues of Hares to describe how upset I am right now.
In that case, what can I get you?
She is going to inventory. Put the Hatchet of Keening Vengeance on the counter. I'd like to trade this for some measure of mental protection. I need a way to keep telepaths out of my head.
Any other qualifications you'd like to use on this, or?
Well, I already have a headband, so something that's not that. I just need some measure of defense against psionic assaults, whether mental or psychokinetic.
All right. With this, it's pretty nice. You said you didn't want to barter, so I'll just let you know that I got something that's exactly what you want, but it's a little bit more expensive than this is for any amount of trade in, and I'm not gonna bother trying to barter favors for this. Instead, like you kind of mentioned, it's just going to be tabbed. That okay with you?
And yeah, she's going to be putting her coins on the counter. She has 188 gold. Specifying the exact number because he would probably be the kind of person who has the special abilities to instinctually know how much there is. Like, that is all the gold I currently have.
All right. So, with this enchantment, this material, very nice mithril, by the way. I'll scoop this for now. You said you had 188, right?
Yep, 188 gold.
In that case, that'll be 1812 on your tab.
Whatever.
I am valuing this one item at 6,000 gold.
I know how expensive magical items tend to be. But I am in no mood to try to negotiate that to a lower amount. I know that you're upselling me. I just don't care right now.
Well, a fun fact for you, I'm actually kind of not. The thing that I'm going to be giving you that solves all the problems that you listed that you want is a total of 8,000 gold.
The hell is it?
A ring of mind shielding. You didn't want anything on your head? Here's a ring. No, this is not a proposal before you make any sort of joke.
As if you were ever in competition.
And here I am providing exactly what you want. Truly, I am too generous at times.
This is me being nice.
My head hurts too much right now to come up with more witty retorts.
But yes, please obtain one Ring of Mind Shielding. This is a ring slot item worth 8,000 gold. And it makes you immune to effects like Detect Thoughts, Discern Lies, and any attempt to magically discern your alignment.
Oh, nice.
There is a reason that he's like, yeah, this axe won't cover it, but it'll cover most of it. It just straight up makes it so that way. No save, no anything. It just no longer works while you're wearing it. This does not render you immune to all mental intrusions if they're like attacks or the like, but they, your thoughts can't be read. They can't tell if you're lying, and any sort of magical alignment check does not work.
And while you're tallying that up, I do have a question. Do you have any idea what the deal is with that fleet that's arriving right now?
Oh, that one. Decidedly little, mostly because it's kind of hard to get intelligence on a ship that's actively in water. But from what I know, there was some sort of big shot marshal being sent to go fight the Wolven.
Oh, lovely. So this place is about to become a hot zone, isn't it?
Only if the Wolven show up here in the next couple hours. Maybe day. They might stop at port. We're not sure.
Wolven are currently on their way here.
Well, yes, but travel time is a thing. They might move fast, but they don't teleport.
It's not like there's any Wolven around here.
We can only hope that when the fleets clash, it happens offshore.
That would be helpful, yes.
How hardened is your warehouse? Could it function as a bunker?
Yes, but it's more of a... It's reinforced, but it's more of a escape route, if you know what I mean.
I just don't want any of our people to get caught in the crossfire. I've been doing all of this to protect them from the ongoing war.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing about wars, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyways, I have work calls and all that. Assuming that you survive and this place doesn't end up turning into a smoldering crater, I'll come back sometime to square the debt.
Oh, don't worry about finding me to square off the debt. I'll just find you later.
Yeah, you would have the means to do that. Oh, and if in your attempts to find me, you end up coming across an exceptionally dangerous, slightly undead bird, if you kill that, I'll gladly pay triple what I owe.
That's a hefty price right there. But I'm also really not in the business of killing things.
It's a hefty price, but he's a hefty pain in my ass.
Thus he shoots Stephen Thorne and everything's done.
You know, you're so lucky that you already mentioned that you didn't want to put up with it. Otherwise, I'd be making so many jokes at you right now.
Yeah, I am in no mental or physical state right now for witty banter. I am just so done with everything. You have no idea. I never thought I would be in a situation where I actually miss being dead, okay? That's where I'm at right now.
So, I do want to remind you of this. You're in a tavern. What can I get you?
Something strong and served in a glass you don't mind goes missing because I'm taking it with me on the road.
All right, you get the plastic cup then.
What's plastic?
Yeah, so, fun thing, I've been shopping around.
Red Solo Cup, I'll fill you
No.
up. Let's have a party.
Let's have a party.
Actually, wait, I think I've actually heard that word once before. Did you acquire those cups from a very shady gnome?
He just sniffs and goes, from a valued business partner, yes.
So that would be a yes then. Okay. Should have figured.
I wouldn't describe him as shady. You hang out with me.
Kreese is not shady.
You know what? That's fair. That's very fair. Compared to you, he's a saint. But if there's one thing that you can hang your hat on, you do keep my life interesting.
Again, I really want to be saying things right now, but you're not in the mood for it, and I don't feel like having to deal with you trying to rip out my soul or something because you're too angry.
I wouldn't rip out your soul. I'd rip out your bones. There's a difference.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I could make your life a whole lot more interesting now that you're about to, shove off again, go back out onto the seas.
Define interesting.
It would make you hate things so much more and probably want to punch me in the face. But it'd be information that, you don't have right now.
Okay, I have a splitting migraine because I took a psionic fist to the face earlier. Just cut to the chase.
Alright. In that case, I'll just put it this way. You know how there aren't a whole lot of, horned ones around?
Horned ones?
Like you.
It's called an antler, not a horn. There is a difference.
So, like I was saying, you know how there aren't a whole lot of horned ones around?
Yeah.
If you ever need to disappear, I offer services.
So that's
I
why
never
you
really
have
offered it
antlers.
to you the first time because you were too busy being angry at literally everything.
So that explains why it is he didn't have any antlers. Smart move on your part.
Look, not everyone wants to deal with that. You kind of made it a bit too public to get away with it.
I tend to do that, yes.
Yes, you do tend to have very public meltdowns. But in the future, if you ever need to disappear, I offer services. That seems a little bit pertinent, considering you seem to be dead set on going around and making a bunch more enemies.
Exactly what I was about to point out, yes. Well, no doubt our fame is going to grow. And I feel like you are in a weird paradox, you're the one person I can trust with this information. Yeah, the whole tower climbing thing. I don't plan on climbing the last one. I've got my own plans in motion regarding that, and I very much will want to disappear afterwards.
Ah, okay, I get it. So you're going to be collecting as much power as you can without taking the final step that would restrict you in any way.
It's not a matter of going after power.
Well,
More of
no,
a
but that
matter
is
of-
what you're doing.
It's more of a matter of picking over my boss. I feel comfortable saying that here because I know for a fact you have scrying protections on this place.
Oh, you better believe it. Besides, I offer at least some. I offer at least some praise towards Hermes, and it'd be kind of dumb if I didn't have at least some way to protect against that sort of stuff, considering the other parts of his domain.
Suffice to say, since I'm currently basically a pet, I'm not keen on getting the promotion to slave.
Well, like I said, I offer services, so it sounds like you'll probably need them.
Yep. Until the next time. Try not to get yourself blown up. The Wolven tend to do that.
What, blow themselves up?
Along with everything nearby, yes.
I wouldn't be too worried about me. You're on this island too, after all.
Only for the next 30 minutes. Yeah, she's gonna
Little
be
did she
out.
know she cursed herself.
Foreshadowing is a plot device in which...
Foreshadowing is a narrative plot device in which...
Yeah, she's gonna be heading out, and she will be putting the ring on immediately.
Alrighty. Rosala, you have obtained the ring and you have put it on. Twins, the moment she does that, you feel her mind effectively just blink out of your radar.
Drops Temple.
No, they just kind of shrug. And continue on. They are looking at the ships, though.
There are a lot of ships. It is an entire fleet. Will you be trying to get a closer look at the ships, or are you going to just more note their passing?
So the ships are coming towards the island, right?
Or at least they're going to be passing very close by.
Okay. They are going to get Timber put in his cabin, and then they're going to fly over to the ships.
All right. I'm not going to really ask for stealth because there's not really a reason to. They aren't going to notice you. But go ahead and roll me a perception.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
So polarizing!
That is the best result that could have happened because it's the funniest. All right. So I'm gonna say that Wolf is probably getting distracted, like, looking around at, like, all of this stuff. And really both of them are, but Loth manages to find and see something really, really interesting. Given that, on the largest ship in the fleet, inside of what you would suspect immediately as the captain's room, you see 3 people having a conversation. One dressed up in a really fancy set of armor, no helmet, but with a large and noticeable cap with a feather. They're dressed in red. And then you see 2 very familiar figures. One of which is Hunan, who is immediately recognizable, as you've seen him and fought him and killed him multiple times. And the other is Paladin Shieldpiercer.
There he is.
Dun, dun, dun!
Mo-fucker.
Remind me about who Hunan was?
The Time Crow that works for Dragomas.
Ah. They are...
Raven, Crow? I just wrote down Corvid, so... The Corvid.
I could have sworn they were an owl.
No, that's Veth. That's the leader of their little hunting squad.
Ah, okay.
They're going to try and get close enough to listen in. On the outside
all
and
right.
all, you know.
Alright. For getting close enough for that, I am going to ask you for a stealth check. All
At
right.
least you got that one out of the way.
Interesting results. The conversation will continue as normal. And it seems like, obviously you're popping in the middle of it. And what they are currently discussing is what sort of things are being offered to this marshal, which do seem quite substantial considering the things that you're hearing in terms of just the pure amount of gold in order to fund things, massive amounts of what's the word for it? Material components for resurrection spells, like, a ton of resources from Hunin and Dragomos. And Paladin Shield Piercer is offering the services of him and the rest of his compatriots to act as an elite force in combating the Wolven. And also, partway through, you are able to see that that Hunin has noticed you, but all he does is do a small wink.
Well, if he's not doing anything, they'll continue listening.
Yep. The marshal is very happy about these promises, and also promises in return that the best of their gear will be afforded to Paladin Shield Piercer and his allies and compatriots, as well as effectively just like, a vow to support Dragomos's current position should Ebrium decide that they don't like that Dragomos has taken over a tower in their territory effectively. Even if it was conquered by the Wolf, and they might want that back later. And so now this marshal is promising that should someone attempt to dislodge Dragomos from his tower, he'd come by with his fleet and army to support them.
Good to know. They're going to store that information away.
And that's the last of the interesting bits of information that you're going to be able to get from that. Besides that, it's mostly just going to be talk about logistics, what support will show up when, what they already have with them, yada, yada, yada.
In that case, they are going to... They're gonna just go ahead and fly back to the ship.
All right.
So first, they will drop into the water, swim a ways away, in a different direction, because, Hunin did see them.
Yep.
And then turn and head back towards the ship and eventually fly out to go back.
All righty. You return to the ship.
So, can Timber be healed like normal, or what is needed to recover from non-lethal?
So non-lethal has a couple of interesting things about it. First off, it heals like at an extreme rate when you actually take a rest. I believe that if you do take magical healing, it can heal your non-lethal damage. So you heal non-lethal damage at a rate of 1 hit point per hour per character level. When a spell or ability cures hit point damage, it also removes an equal amount of non-lethal damage.
Alright, in that case, they will do their heal. If I can figure out how to actually... There it is. Yes.
It does work.
So they're just gonna kind of be floating over top of Timber when he wakes up.
Timbo's gonna, like, flail a bit as he, comes back awake. Did I win?
No. But he also kind of fought dirty, so...
Where's Snow?
We left him out there.
Timbo's gonna, like, sit up. Alright, so what's been going on since I've been out?
Well, there's a fleet going by or coming here. They are
as soon
not
as he
woven.
says that, Timbo walks out and looks.
They're going to fly in front of him. They're not woven, and they probably would not be too keen on seeing you.
I was just trying to see where they're going.
They are either going to come here or pass by very closely. We should probably get out of here.
Alright, what's Snow?
We left him there.
Alright, twins, I want you to gather everybody, including Snow. I'm gonna start getting this boat ready to move.
All right. We will gather everyone up, though we do not know where Rosalia went.
What do you mean?
She disconnected from the network.
Rule of funny, I'd like this to be when Rose is arriving at the ship.
And Timbo's gonna be like, well, go look for her! Because he talks out loud.
Go look for who?
Rose! You! Rose, I need you to find Rose. Damn, you're good.
Just working at peak efficiency.
Alright.
And she's going to be walking away without a further word. Just heading down below decks.
Rose, get your machines walking again. We'll pull an ankle pretty soon.
I planned on doing.
Good job.
All right, so we will go get Gar and any of the orphans and be back shortly.
Grab Snow, throw him in the slammer.
Understood. They will fly over back to the battlefield then.
All right. Gar, did you pick up Snow?
No, I wasn't interested in interfering with any of the fight.
All right.
He's still there with Snow, just standing over him.
Some of the losing bet orphans will be having to band together and carry the unconscious winner back to the ship as a part of their they lost.
Careful, he's a hero.
The twins are going to just pluck Snow from them, specifically carrying him by the tail. Just letting the rest of him dangle.
Uncomfortable.
They are very upset with him.
And are you telling everybody to get back to the ship?
They are also doing that, yes.
Okay.
Alexi, is that linkage ready to... Why are you tied to the hammock?
They didn't muzzle you!
That'd be hilarious if he was, though.
Shit.
He was trying to get free and wound up getting himself muzzled.
Even worse, yeah.
Oh, so he's just a
I'm going
natural
to-
at this. Got it.
I'm going to do something that under any circumstance would be considered stupid, but she is so fucking done with everything. Oh, lovely.
Can we just skip the card and say that Rose manages to stab herself?
Yeah.
Oh no, she was going to use the scythe to cut the ropes off. I guess she
Yeah.
ends up cutting the hammock instead.
Or
Oh, no,
hitting
well, she's got-
Alexi.
You know what? You know that one infamous surgery? You're cutting down the hammock. You're going to be slicing Alexi for a little bit of damage and slicing yourself for a little bit of damage.
Oh yeah, the one surgery that had a 300% mortality rate.
Yeah, except it's not mortality. It's just a casualty rate, including the hammock.
Unless chat's willing to give me a reroll, but they haven't done any cards today, so.
The nat ones have been strong today.
They have.
Very strong. Absurdly strong. Suspiciously
Even
strong.
I almost rolled as many ones as I did 20s.
That's because I haven't been rolling, so the bad luck had to go somewhere.
We took the lightning rod offline. We've all been getting hit.
This is part of the Chasm's grand plan. Unfortunately, she wanted entertainment.
Oh wait, that's chromatic armlet. I'm stupid. Hold on.
She didn't send her strongest soldier, just her silliest one.
Well, at least it only did 3 points of damage.
Yep, you both take 3 damage.
Wake up! Hold the line! This hamlet shall not fall.
Danny Cathrat raided my stream with 10 viewers.
Danica! Hello!
Storyteller?
How are you? How was your stream? Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. You've come into close to the end of our Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder campaign. We do a lot of stuff here, though. We've got several tabletop campaigns. We've got a couple of Pathfinder ones, several Pokemon games, a couple of Digimon ones, and we've got a Star Wars campaign coming soon. Several of those are run with our custom SCAR system that we work on and develop on the stream a lot. And then we also have artists that come and join us and various games that I do, like Timberborn. I know I've done Schedule 1 recently, and so many more. So do hit that follow button. Come join us again. Ooh, you did some D&D. Very nice. Hope you had a great time there, Danica. Thank you for sharing your community. Go ahead.
All right, you had a question, Timber?
Yeah, I just wanted to use all my leftover lay on hands just to heal myself.
Yeah, sure. Just go ahead and roll that. You like yourself. All right, so that would take you to... Donk. There you go.
Timber's just waiting by the ankle ready to pick it up once everybody gets here.
All right.
Meanwhile,
It doesn't
in the
take
hole-
very long for everyone else to get there.
Alright.
So, Alexi, is the linkage ready?
What? That depends. Do you have a 3/8 bolt threaded with a? You know what? I'll just show you.
Fine, let's go.
I mean, it's not going to be really hard. I just need something to hold these two pistons together.
I will fucking weld it if I have to. We need to move now.
I don't weld it with.
We are leaving.
I mean, welding it would be a bad idea because it needs to move. But like right here, see, it just needs. It needs an axle, basically. Piece
Sure,
of
we can
wood.
find something in the workshop. Chiefy, swap the flags.
And Chiefy will do so.
I mean,
In the
even
background,
if you got a really, if you've got a thigh bone in that pile of yours somewhere, that might work. For at least for now.
In the background, you can hear Timber calling out names and making sure everyone's on the boat.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
sending Chiefy to swap the Imperium flag that the ship flies with an HKO one.
Temple would stop that.
Hoist the colors!
Ember, if they see us on the horizon with an Imperium flag, they won't wait. They won't negotiate. They'll just open fire, and we cannot handle a fleet that size.
How long do we have to before we need to shove off?
We need to shove off now.
Oh,
We need to shove off yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Give me
It doesn't have to work well. It just has to work for a little while to get us over the horizon.
over the okay. I think I got something.
Temple starts
That's
angrily pulling the anchor.
Alexi takes a really deep breath, pulls a silver whistle out of one of his pouches. And that is Rosalia's warning.
Yeah, she's already covering her ears. She's used to the warning signs of loud noises impending.
The twins, for their part, are just going to, fly back into the ship, go down, not caring about, snow being dragged along the floor, bouncing on stairs and such, and then yeet him into a cell and lock it.
No has been sold.
They pause for a moment, debating whether they should go ahead and use acid to melt the lock.
To weld it.
To weld it. But then they decide Timber might get mad about that. Only because of damage to the ship.
I keep a couple of spare parts in stock for when he gets into fights with me and, gets hit with stuff that I can't repair without access to a workshop. I think one of the pieces that I've got it'll get us to the horizon, and it shouldn't snap before then.
Storyteller?
Yes?
After Temple takes the helm, he is going to equip the Cone of Shame because he allowed this to happen.
You may do so.
How do you equip the Cone of Shame and your helmet at the same time?
Next slot.
I will not divulge state secrets to people who tinker with things.
Now, bear in mind, Talk's not made for the kind of stress that Atlas can put out. I had to run some tests last night, and he's got way too much torque for most materials. It might even damage the brass the bronze once we finally get that in place. And most of Talk's gears are copper.
Alright, so we shove off.
Were you asking that to me or to the party?
I'm asking you, Storyteller.
You may, yes.
Okay, shoving.
It's a good thing you did preparations last night and early this morning.
On schedule.
I did do a little trick that I think might get us started faster.
Now, are we rowing or just wind?
I think it's both.
Yeah, the rowing isn't fully back up and running, but there's at least a couple of them that are.
Okay, and see, the best part about this is that I've got this set up here so that if we just need to get started in a hurry, you can aim Atlas's main cannons out that way and fire. And it should give us a push. I think.
And I'm doing my part on rowing.
Good job, Gaul. Pedaling is super freaking fast.
Making sure not to go too fast that we're going in circles.
For the Clockwork Queen!
Alrighty. Well, you guys are officially shoving off here. You are departing. And I think that this is probably the best place to call this session, because we've kind of already ran a bit over a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you for running.
Yes, thank you for running, and thanks for joining, everyone.
Yeah.
And all of you out there in the chat, thank you so much for joining us today for Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or by grabbing some merch over at zgfgaming.store, or commissioning one of the artists that I manage for. Their details are at zgf.art. But for now, thank you so much for joining, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye!
Shame!